Yeah, I got more waters down, so we got waters over there.
All right. This is tight, dude.
I do like Bullet.
I a couple months back, man, I bought a couple different bottles, and that one was sitting there, and we did it, and I guess they had like a little special whatever for it. It was like, oh, these are just limited time, you know, they get you with that. And I was like, all right, bet. And so
yeah, I mean, one of the best things I ever did was, you know, of course, sponsored by Drinx, but is grabbing, if you don't know every bourbon, I did this when Mazzano's back in the day, like 2000. I think I got into bourbons in about 2014. I was like, hey, I got $250.
Yeah,
put me a collection together.
Nice.
And
there you go.
They'll put together whatever.
Yeah.
So you try different ones.
Right.
Bullet is a good one. Four Roses is a good one. Leonidas.
That's what I started doing. I was like, hey,
I didn't know.
Let's just. I started going. I just started going, and I was like, I'm grabbing different bottles each time I go. And there we go. That's what I started doing.
But that's what I did. Like I'd go in and be like, I got $250. Fill the box.
Right.
And because I didn't know, like, I mean, for me, it was always, and for us, especially, you know, being Yellow Jackets, it was always for us as Jim Beam, Jack.
Yeah.
And then that's how we were. It was like, you know, that's how we always did.
Yeah. Yeah. I even bought whiskey from when I was in Italy, and I was touring all over, and we were going to all the countries. I bought liquor and stuff from different places, and I would just save that stuff for like special occasions. And so I'll drink Jack on a regular. Like that's what I usually drink, Jack in like a Diet Coke. But then it's like, hey, if we're doing this, we got some special people around, whatnot. That's when I'm like, all right, let's bring out something different. And you know,
he said, bro, you look like a whole lumberjack snack.
I like that. I like that. I'm trying to be a snack.
I just was like watching a documentary, and I was like about bourbons. And I'm like, I remember watching a documentary, and I wasn't big into bourbons. I just bought my house in Hickory Hills, and I was like, all right, let me go to Mazzano's.
Yeah.
When Jonathan had it, and I was like, let me go and just you know, that's when I was like, here, I got either $200 or $250. And I was just so intrigued by it. I was like, I think it was one of the Netflix documentaries. It's one of the cool documentaries where you've seen other distilleries. He loaded me up like Jim Beam single barrel. It was Bell Mead, Buffalo Trace, Elijah Craig. I remember this one, 129 cask. I mean, and what I did is took all of them and I set them on my coffee table at my house by myself with my husky, and I poured a shot of each.
Nice.
And I sat there and I watched the documentary, and I would each episode I would drink a different one. Okay. And that's how I got into bourbons.
Nice.
That was just for me. I was bored, and I was like, I never really buy myself any kind of nice bourbon, like a cigar. I never really. I mean, Black and Miles was my thing.
Yeah.
And that was because Big Timers.
Back in the Studio 90 days, man. Get a pack of Black and Miles, and while I'm drinking.
Put that in your lip.
Let it just hang there a little bit. You know? What is it? Yeah. All right.
All right. So, guys, we're about to start this show. We got Leonidas Miller on here. Influencer is what you got to be called, especially with your followers. Very cool stuff. How he takes opinions and just, you know, voices his own thoughts. It's very harmless, but very interesting. It's really cool, and I hope you enjoy the show. And I think we're about to all learn a lot.
Hopefully learn a little bit.
We're gonna learn a lot.
If you can just learn just one thing, or if you can take away one thing, that's all I did. That's like my motto for anything that I do. It's like, if I can affect one person in a positive way, did my job.
Hey, I like it.
Whether that's even just putting a smile on the face.
We're about to go into this. We're hitting ads right now. Love you guys. See you soon. Music up loud.
Magnolia Room Speakeasy. Airbnb Bosses. Drinx. Shout out to John. DirectAuto. Go see Michael West. Collision Depot. They will fix and repair to the highest standard. The District Coffee Company, downtown Ocean Springs, and the new location, Pascagoula.
We offer home, auto, commercial, builders, whips, and life It's rich.
Oliver's good.
I for shots is rich.
On the back, I didn't have my front.
No, I think
So-
no, it's cool, man. Because like I got like I literally got to a point where I'd have a couple cocktails and I would just be like, well, we grew up together. I'm like, I like watching friends win from our area.
Yeah.
That's what I like. So
100%.
I was like, hey, I remember catching it the first time. I didn't catch the Facebook. I caught the TikTok.
Okay.
I mean, I knew you'd send some, like, I think you were doing some training videos back in the day, like, any kind of like maybe some small thoughts, but it was me scrolling randomly and be
Yeah.
like, I mean, is that Leonidas? Like, I'm like, I think I went to school with him. And I like
Yeah.
looked, I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then I just went down a rabbit hole and I was like, this is cool.
Okay.
What made you let's go into the Tom. I know you said you've been doing this a long time. So let's go there. What made you start sharing your opinions through social media instead of, like for me in Facebook was always like I'd always type it. Like I'm
Mhm.
not feeling good. Like
Yeah.
my something's wrong with my head. And that's why I think I built some of my followers is just because I was just like, I always looked at Facebook as a journal. Having a
Kinda,
bad day and
yeah.
I just text. I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever, send it out. And then I send it out and people are like, I feel that way. And then, but I didn't do video first. What made you do video?
I really didn't do video on Facebook. It was just text. Now I did do a few where like I had some like rage videos, like talking shit about the Falcons because the Falcons would lose games we shouldn't have lost. And like people got a kick out of it because everyone's around here is a Saints fan. So that started off doing that where I was kind of being comical, but it was all just texting. Just if I was frustrated about something, I would text it. Or if I had this thing where depending on the topic, if I saw enough people on my feed talk about something, instantly had to make a trolling post and give like my thing because I knew enough people on Facebook were going to see it because everybody was reposting the same stuff. And I would just give a different take or make fun of it, being sarcastic, whatever. And then people got a kick out of it, And so it was fun. And then one of my brothers is huge on TikTok. And he was like, I went through a breakup and, I was feeling down about the breakup, whatever. Well, he was like, bro, you got to download TikTok. And I was like, I never downloaded it, but all right, cool. Like I downloaded it. Next thing you know, I'm working at Glory Bound Bouncing with Jordan Champagne.
Oh, shout out to Jordan for sure.
Shout out to Jordan Champagne and the guys over at Glory Bound. I miss them. Now we had a lot of fun and been friends with Jordan since like 15 years old. He stole a pair of my underwear. Yeah, Jordan. I remember that.
It's pretty true.
And I only know this because the company name on the underwear, the boxers, was Jacob and Company. And I'm the only one that had those. And when I saw that dude show, he stayed night at my house one night and all of a sudden he's got my underwear on. I'm like, what did you? He's like, I took these a month ago. I'm like, all right. So anyway, my phone starts going off and I'm like, what the world? And my Instagram's blowing up, my TikTok, my phone just bzz, bzz, bzz. And I look and like all of a sudden people are like, hey man, you're going viral right now. I'm like, for what?
But were you at the time when you were going viral? Were you nervous? Were you nervous about like being like, shit talkers, or were you just like excited because like what was the excitement when that shit?
It wasn't anything I did. So my mind is rushing. I had to tell Jordan, I was like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. Hold on, I gotta go answer this. Something's going on. Like I don't know. Like someone must be dying. Why is my stuff going on? And so all of a sudden I hear, oh yeah, you're going viral, and I'm like, for what? I haven't done anything. What am I going viral for? Like I haven't posted anything, nothing. Next thing you know, I get a text from my brother and he's like, hey, I did a thing. I'm like, what? And he made I didn't know at this time he had like 100,000. I didn't even know he had a TikTok. He had like 100,000 followers on TikTok. He made a boyfriend application using all my pictures and saying, oh, he's 6'6", and I'm only 6'4", but oh, he's 6'6", and he's looking for a girlfriend and da 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 da. So then out of woodwork, all these women are just following all my socials.
He was trolling you.
Yeah. Yeah. He was trying to help me out because, I'm heartbroken, in a relationship, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. Well, then I got on TikTok and then I started making videos, and I was just like, I was flipping through it. I wasn't really posting. And all of a sudden I was like, let me post. And I started just being sarcastic, and I started seeing things that were going viral, and I would put like a different spin on it. And then people just found it humorous. And then it just one thing led to another, it started growing. And then I got into, instead of just posting like a 15-minute clip with some words, then I started realizing, okay, make videos giving opinions on things, because people would comment, and then I'm like, well, let me talk. I'm okay at talking. Let me talk. And I did that, and people loved it. People hated it, good and bad. It doesn't matter. It puts you in an algorithm, and here we are today.
Do you think the algorithm is more on hate?
Oh, divisiveness. Absolutely. If we can get keep people divided on everything, that's what goes viral. Because you got to think about it. Don't get me wrong. There's algorithms that go great, that are like all positive, but like that's a certain niche. And then you have what really goes viral is divisiveness, because instead of having just people going, oh, I like it, you got to get the people in the comments on top of it and sharing it. Say, oh, look, this is my side. No, this is my side. No, you're wrong. And you get people arguing, and that's what really makes things go.
Do you ever do you get into the comments with them, or you just watch it?
Sometimes. So like, to just tips and tricks that people share to like go viral is, interact with your audience. More comments, the more you're interacting, more personal. See, and that's the thing about social media is, like people love when you get personal with them and you interact with them. When you're a creator and you don't interact at all, you don't comment back, you're not doing anything, you probably, unless you're already like huge, it just kind of helps put it in an algorithm. So I love it. I love agreeing with people. And then when people don't agree, like if people get in there trolling and they say just absurd stuff that I'm like, you're just trying to troll, I'm just like, hey, thanks for the algorithm boost. Thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, that's what I noticed that with when I was doing Twitch, it was comments. Likes are cool, but comments are everything.
It's the comments. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I mean, I was telling you, like, I just had one night, it was like Liquid Courage Junior, shout out to Junior. But I just hopped on my PlayStation and I hit the webcam, like clicked it, just you're throwing Falcons. I hit the webcam. Dude, I was just sitting there playing. At the time I had my bin queue and I had my setup, and I hit it one night and I was just drinking Bud Light Tall Boys. Remember this?
Yeah.
And but I was blowing up maps and shit, and people just came in and they just stayed on Twitch. They just stayed. Nice. I looked down and I'm like, at the time, because I had the PlayStation 4 corner where he had comments.
Okay.
So that like for everybody from Twitch can comment, and it was all comments. That thing just went, and I was like, oh shit.
You can't keep up. It's crazy. And it's like, I don't know if you did it, but like if I have a video and like I go into work, and then I come out and I got a video that goes viral and there's all these comments. It's like, I can't keep up. By the time I try to scroll, it redoes another one. And there's so many comments. You're just
Do you have mods for like your TikTok comments, or is it no?
No.
So it's just you personally have to go through them.
I would personally have to go through them. And so I go through them if there's certain amount, or I'll see the ones that like while I'm looking at it, the ones that are being posted, like I'll see those and try to respond. Sometimes if I got some time, I'll scroll through them and try to see, but no. But if I go live, I think there's like mods, but not just on the video.
What do you think? Because now we see a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, like I had the taste probably 2013 into the internet world where people knew me from other countries. For you though, like what is like now with how, I mean, it changed back then. It's like I used to stream on Twitch shirtless and rub my nipples for likes. I'm serious. I sent it to you. I used to rub my nipples for likes.
Yeah.
That's how I did it. Like I didn't know, and but I was like Tim at the time with like I had people that would rave, but at the time like Twitch for Call of Duty streamers, there was like 25 or 30 of us.
Yeah.
It wasn't there wasn't girls in hot tubs. There wasn't none of that. It was just like, who's good at blowing maps up? Who's good at, doing a 70 kill domination?
Once things go mainstream, it gets flooded with
it just
other stuff.
And I was like, I remember when I said, like, it was one of those situations for me where I was like, I didn't even know, like, I was learning how to build an audience.
Mhm.
And I took a lot of that through this, but I like my coastal audience. I like being from Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
And I knew when I pushed off of Twitch, I was like, I want to just highlight. So I'm saying, like, you have Carrie Duncan on here, you have you're from here. This is your home. So it's like I enjoy having my guests for me are my coast.
Yeah.
But Twitch was like a very scary thing because like it went from like Twitter and everybody's in your personal life and VPNs wasn't there, and that caused me to get swatted. And that's what I was talking to you about. Like you're like, you don't like using your government name, and I kind of respect that because
Yeah.
people are hateful.
Yeah. People are hateful, and I was lucky enough to sit out here and see, and I don't agree with it. And there's things that you don't have to agree with, right? But if you pay attention, when you're seeing people give an opinion on something, I mean, just when the 2016 election came out, right? When you're seeing people who are like on their social media saying, "Oh, I voted for Trump and support Trump," and then people are calling their jobs trying to get them fired. Like even my own father, people try to call his job because he posted a pro-Trump thing and try to call his job saying he's racist and try to get him fired. Like that's how bad it is. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to use my government name. I mean, you can easily find out, if you search hard enough, and there's people that try to do that, but like, it's like, let me not give you too much information on trying to get me fired from my job because.
Do you think a lot of it with your dad though? Would your dad have his own social media, or were they tracking your dad? Did they get so close?
It was just from his Facebook. All he had was a Facebook.
But was it a person that he knew, or was it a person that came from your social media?
Oh no, someone that he knew,
Okay.
Or someone who found his social media because of the job he has, and he works in the public and whatnot, and someone found his social media because they have his name, and so they go and if you don't privatize your stuff enough, people can see what you post. And someone saw, he posted a pro-Trump thing, and then try to get him fired. And then not only that, but you see other people go through that, and I'm like, that's terrible. That's terrible. Like you're really trying to ruin people's livelihood because they have a difference of opinion on something and support something different than you. Yeah.
I mean, I would call that cancer culture. Who's Viking Princess?
I don't know.
Let's
Who
see.
is Viking Princess? And it's all about the Falcons. I almost wore my Falcons jersey from me and Divvy Up's podcast, Coyotes Are Us. The Falcon jersey I was wearing for that. I'm wearing the hat. I almost wore the Falcon jersey so people really understood who I was from the Gulf Coast.
Well, I mean, but you wore that in grade school.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you always wore jerseys, basketball and football jerseys.
And that is why I will give everyone on the coast so much shit about being bandwagon Saints fans, because I remember so many people at school going, "Why do you wear Falcon stuff all the time? You act like you play for them." And I'm like, because I'm a fan.
No, you always a fan. We got a politician in here.
Justin, what's going on, buddy?
Tell your dad I love him because Mr. Mark was at my dad's funeral, and if you ever need any auto parts, it's O'Reilly's, especially in Popsbury.
Yep.
But yeah,
yeah.
I look up to his dad.
Justin and his brother go back.
Yeah, we
way
all
back.
go back.
Yeah, way back.
But now he's like a leader of the community, and he's serious about it.
I know.
That's cool.
That's great. That's cool. I like seeing some new blood. I like seeing new blood.
It's one of us.
Yeah.
He's one of us for sure. Because I wouldn't want to have like that's a lot of work to fix the things he's fixing.
Mm.
So let's go into okay, after high school,
All right.
where'd you go?
So after high school,
Let's take a shot first.
yeah, I'm about to say we're gonna take these shots.
Cheers, bro.
Salute. All right. So after high school, I played 1 year of football at Perk, and I quit Perk because I woke up. I had my knee scoped out the first year I was there. I woke up at 19 years old, like struggling to like stand up in the morning. And so I was like, this is it. Like, I don't want to be 40 years old, can't stand up, couch potato, whatnot. So I quit football, went to Gulf Coast, went to Southern, got my degree, and then was going to try to be a lawyer. Think about it. Me being opinionated, like to argue. I was going to go to law school. I worked at a courthouse for a couple years to try to get some, get in good with the judges, attorneys, before going to law school, and took my LSAT, and then just saw what like lawyers were making. And I was like, I just don't know if a few more years of school and all that debt was going to be worth it. And I went into the Navy. I said, you know what? I'm going to go into the Navy. I became an IT in the Navy, spent 8 years in the Navy. First duty station was on a flagship in Italy. Nothing but just traveled all over Europe.
How big was the ship?
The ship was
I'm thinking down Periscope right now.
632 feet long. Yeah, it's the only ships that are bigger. Now I could be wrong, but at the time, I think the only ship that was bigger was like a carrier. I mean, carriers are like cities on water. But yeah, 630 something feet. A lot of people don't know the Mount Whitney, but they know the Blue Ridge, which is in Japan. And so the Mount Whitney is a 6 feet flagship. So all we did was just go from country to country to country to country to country, put on parties, party with the dignitaries. And
do you remember how many people were on the boat with you?
We had, I think, 300 to 350 or so people on the ship. And then
bunks.
Bunks. Yeah. We would also have more at different times because we were the flagship for Sixth Fleet. So we actually worked with like NATO. And so we would embark people all the time.
So what is a flagship?
It's an admiral ship. So that's the admiral. Sixth Fleet admiral ship is what it is. That's what the flagship is.
Okay.
So it's the admiral ship, but the admiral don't stay on it. He stays somewhere else in his cozy little house. And then, you know, when it's time to go underway, he comes on for a day and then gets helloed off. And we're out there doing whatever we're doing. A lot of PR work. We did a lot of PR work, you know, like I said, go to countries, make sure we, you know, shake hands, kiss babies, dance with wives.
So like Top Gun, where you're going to see you're karaoke at bars pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, dude, we'd have a work and we'd throw parties. And then when we weren't working and we was in these ports, I mean, it was like you had groups that were like First Irish Bar. Boom. You know, people want to go to strip clubs. They went to the strip clubs. People wanted to go tour around, see, you know, buildings and architecture and stuff. Like everyone had different things. And so we took full advantage. And I had pictures. That's when a lot of people, which is really funny, is that a lot of people were always commenting on my social media because I try to share that, because how many people get to experience all the things that I got to experience. So I shared it. And so I did 8 years in the Navy. And then after I got medically retired, my back went out on me. I got out in 2020. So I think in 2017 or 2018.
Is it because your height?
No, I woke up one morning. I just couldn't stand up, and I got multiple disc, like herniated disc, a pinched nerve, and it's all the way in my lower part of my back. So I can't even. I just woke up one morning, rolled out of bed, and I'm like running. At this point, I'm like running 5 miles a day. I'm going and doing MMA, jiu-jitsu, and kickboxing. You know, working out, living life, man. And I woke up one day, rolled out of bed, couldn't stand up, and finally gave me an MRI, and they were like, yeah, you got some messed up disc and a pinched nerve. And I had to go through a 2-year process of like, you know, you got to go through a process of like physical therapy. And okay. And then once you do physical therapy for so long, they're like, all right, well, now we got to try shots. So I had shots in my back. And
like steroid shots?
Yeah. Like I lay on a table. Luckily, I laid on a table and they had a machine that knew exactly where to go, like an x-ray machine. And that needle went straight in, filled me up, whatever steroid it is, the epidural, and then go. And then when we realized after having that done 3 times that it wasn't lasting long and it just sucked. So then I had to go through a med board process, and they found me like permanently disabled because it's something that just, they don't want to do surgery on me. That was the other part. Because of how old I was. I was only 33 at the time. So this, 6 years ago. So I was 33 and they were like, you're too young to do surgery on. So let's hold off until there's a surgery good enough to do, like a more permanent surgery that fixes it better. Cause like with the surgery they have now, it might last 5 to 10 years. And then I could get cut open again. And they don't want that. Cause then like every 5 to 10 years, I'm getting cut open for the rest of my life. Like, nah. So they permanently disabled me. And so then I moved back home once I got out. I moved back home. I stayed retired for about a year and stayed at home, came back, built friendships back up, wanted to spend time. My nieces and my nephews were born like right as I like got shipped out overseas. So I wanted to really build that connection with my nieces and my nephews, which is why I came back home. And because they were terrified for the longest time, they were terrified. Who is this big bearded dude that comes home? Like, who is this? Like, we know who, uncle is, but like, who is this? Like, and I show up because it's different. Like when you see me online and then I show up and I'm, they're looking up like, who is that? And they're like, that's just uncle. And they're like, ah. So I built that up. They love me now. They used to come stay the night at the house every now and then. And I try to do things with them when I can. And then I started working, and I'm an IT tech. So I do my job and make TikTok videos. And here we are today, man.
So your TikTok thing kind of went to a situation where you went more into the, I would say the relationship, mate style, I guess. You jump into, like, if somebody's saying anything. Now I've seen too, though, political too, you're jumping in there.
So here's the thing. Yeah. So my brother does a lot of like relationship stuff. And so he would send me things like controversial things, and then I would get it and I would use it. And because he too chicken shit. So let's just call that out. It's that fake nonsense. He has like a religious crowd, so he wasn't trying to be him real self on there, right? So I, on the other hand, was like, hell yeah, I'll take this stuff and I'll roll with it, right? Because I don't care what people think.
Hey, hold on, Justin, you're more welcome to come now. You know where I live. You're more welcome to come right now and hop on.
Dude, come on down, bro.
Yeah.
It'd be great to see you now that you're like, voted you in and all. Like, come on down, dude.
Yeah, Justin, if you want to come over, well, Justin said this comment. He goes, one of my favorite comments. He puts his headphones in, and he's got a household, he's got a wife. He goes, she knows because he's a part of this.
Yeah. And
that's one of his things. Like, he'll put his headphones in, he's zoned into this. But yeah, if Justin, you want to come over, bud, you're always welcome.
By all means, be great to see you again, bro.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
So I used to spend, the thing about Justin is me and Mark used to be really, really good friends, his brother. And so, like, played baseball together. Our parents were really good friends. And so I used to be over at their houses on the weekends.
You go to stepdad's house too?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, trust me, the fun that Mark had in his white blazer he used to have. Oh man, we had a good old time.
Well, it was so Josh White's my cousin.
Okay, yeah.
And him and Mark were inseparable. And I that's what I'm saying. We just lost Pops, but we lost a lot.
Yeah.
And but yeah, Josh was my neighbor. It's Mark. We've had a hell.
That's when we first met. Was when I moved back down here. So that's what a lot of people don't know, right? So when we first met I think me and Josh wanted to fight each other. Josh wanted to fight me when I first moved back here. That was the funny, because I went to
y'all were the bigger boys.
Yeah, we were the big boys, right? Because this is what happened. So we went. I went to St. Martin East, and so I was here my whole life.
Stupid,
but for a couple, look, man, like I have a choice. Where
Fuck you, Brandon Bailey.
Kid, And so what happened was I moved to Brandon for a couple years, and then I came back. And Mark was one of the only people that knew who I was and that I was coming back. And so I show up in 7th grade, like after Christmas, and people are like, "Who's this?" Need I remind you, I show back up and I'm 6 foot tall, like 200 pounds. Like I'm a Neanderthal, like I'm a grown man at 12. I hit a growth spurt.
I remember this.
And people are like, who is this ridiculously large individual? Like my history teacher was a guy in 7th grade, and everyone's like, dude, he's terrified of you. Because he was a short little dude, and I'm like, I'm 12.
It was middle school as a junior high, that St. Martin Junior High in Lemoyne, right?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
It was I remember being there because it was the our break room area. It was the outdoor with the picnic table.
Oh, Marky. Yeah. Marky. We called Mark Marky.
No, but I mean, there was like, and then we had that thing where it was like freaks. It was freaks and preps.
Bro, I was like,
that was a real thing we did.
So when I was in Brandon, right, everyone was cool. There was no like segregation, as you want to call it, between people. Like if you didn't like someone, you didn't like them because y'all had some type of beef with each other, right? So I moved down here, and all of a sudden, like I'm trying to go, and I realized there's like the goths, the metalheads, the jocks, the preps, and I'm like, what kind of movie nonsense is this? Like, what are y'all doing?
It was
And
true.
I know because I'm from here, I'm like, I got friends over here, friends over here, friends over here. And that's always been the type of guy I've been where like I make friends in everywhere. Like I don't discriminate. So I was like,
Yeah, you came back.
dude,
You came back to some crazy shit because I mean,
I was
there's
like, what in the world? And yeah, people's like, when they realized, they were like, man, who are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm Jake.
yeah, I think in 5th grade I would consider myself a prep. I was like a prep, and
Yeah.
you were with us. You were too, and then you like. But I was like, I remember going like the goth kids. I'm like, hey, like, you want to fight?
Oh my God.
No, like,
Oh
but
my God.
no, but we're young. We're like 5th
Yeah.
grade, and it was, and but yeah, I remember them, and I always telling. I was thinking about this the other day is DeAndre Johnson. Remember Francis and DeAndre?
Yeah, bro. We played with the Falcons together.
I think DeAndre is a pastor. I know Tarkon's coming on. Tarkon's
Mhm.
coming on the podcast, but
Okay. Awesome.
but I remember this is right when they did school uniforms for us.
Dude, I moved from a school that had no school uniforms to like, hey, you're going back to St. Martin. And I'm like, cool. And they're like, hey, welcome to 8th grade. You got to wear uniforms. And I'm like, what? Why? This is terrible.
I remember being at the elementary and my parents brought me there. It was a nighttime. They did a showcase of wearing the white and the white and the blue shorts. And I remember me and Bronson dyed our hair blue to try to get away with it.
Yeah.
And then we tried everything to change anything. But I remember this one memory was me and DeAndre we were pranking each other. He's like, you fucking cracker. This is how we were. Like, I mean, this is how we were. And I was like, okay. And he jokingly punched me. He literally just hit me, but he hit my nose. That's how we used to rough around.
Dude, we used to mess around so
and
much.
DeAndre hit me. My nose started bleeding. And one of the teachers, because we're in the break at the was it the 8th grade junior high that moved over by the high school?
Yeah.
And blood was coming down my nose, and they put us in the office, and they're like, he hit you. And I was like, no, he didn't. And they're like, your shirt's untucked. I'm like, probably. And then me and DeAndre for a week had to be janitors. And I was like laughing. We're like, because he didn't mean to. We're just horse playing. I mean, we're kids.
Yeah.
Kids horse play.
Keith, that's crazy, dude. I couldn't imagine going through all the high school and then your senior year, like you got to wear uniforms. Like your parents got to buy uniforms for 1 year. It was so embarrassing. And Viking Princess, do I have Viking blood in you? No, I know I got the hairstyle to like go with it, but no, I am Spanish and French with some Russian. That's where I get my largeness. I don't know if Russians were Vikings. That's more Scandinavian. But
look, Jerry over here, Jerry, I need some more hot honey. Okay, everyone fought in SCG. Remind me SCG. Can you type that in, Jerry? Jerry is the head guy for Adventure Locators. So
okay.
Jerry is a scuba diver, a big bourbon guy, but he makes his own spicy honey.
Okay.
Ooh, like you need to know Jerry. Yeah,
good.
You know Adventure Locators in D'Iberville, right by Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Jerry has been he's a teacher. If you ever wanted, he's traveling right now. He goes to Hawaii, he goes everywhere, but he's a master at the underworld.
All right.
I'm kind of scared of that.
Oh yeah, Keith. Look, I had who was that principal we had or vice
South
principal?
Cedar Grove.
South Cedar Grove. Yeah. Yeah. My grandparents lived there. My grandparents lived there.
My mom still lives there, bro.
Yeah, they passed away. My grandparents passed away. So yeah, no, the Brittany. Love you, Brittany.
I love Brittany.
God, the house parties at Brittany's. Okay. Remember that. Yeah, Keith, the rules. Van Winkle. That dude, so back then I gained a lot of weight. I was very self-conscious of like my body size, right? So when we would tuck our shirts in, I would pull my shirt out a little bit. You know how people do, like they pull their shirt out, you know, don't leave it like straight tucked in.
A little front tuck.
Yeah, a little front tuck.
Yeah.
So like I would like tuck my shirts in, but then I'd pull them out a little bit so they kind of like balloon out because like I was self-conscious. I was fat and like I didn't like tight clothes.
I don't think you were fat. I just think you were growing in your body.
Well, at the moment I was fat, bro. I was a big boy. I don't deny it, bro. I was a big boy. Like my senior year, I was 330. You know what I mean? So, but compared to everybody else, I was a large dude, but I didn't like tight clothes. And so Van Winkle would hound me in the damn hall every damn day. Miller, tuck your shirt in. I was like, it's tucked in, dog. Like, what do you mean it's tucked in? It's just pulled out. Well, you got to tuck it all the way in. I said, I ain't doing that. I got my belt on. You're good, bro. But every day he hound me because of those damn rules. Ugh,
Life's about a bunch of rules.
man.
South Theater Grove for life. Mom's there, and if mom does give me the house, I'm turning it to a museum.
There you go. There you,
Can
go.
stay there.
Heck yeah. There you go.
No, I mean, but like for instance, Brittany, right? That's fucking ride or
Sorry,
die
Keith.
right there. Brittany's ride or die right there.
Dude, Brittany. Love you, Brittany. I remember, God, the parties, the house parties. That is something I miss. The house parties. We used to have house parties, no cell phones, good DJ and music, and we're just like dancing until we're like full of sweat, and then we go home.
Well, I
Great.
started one when Dad passed away. We had a celebration of life at the Latimer Community Center,
Okay.
and then people showed up, and I was like, "Let's get in a truck." We went to Brandon Bailey's house on Crawn Road, and his wife's like, "What are y'all doing here?" I'm like, "We're doing a fire." He's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna take a shower." Does Brandon know? I was like, "He kind of knows." Cause I just dipped out of my dad's celebration of life because I just want to be around my people. And we just did a fucking Baju Bet bonfire.
Okay.
And Baju Bet was our thing.
Yeah.
Dude, Van Winkle was on your ass about your fucking clothes. Dude, I'm telling you, I was like, he was trying to kick DeAndre out of school. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you're not going to get shit out of me. But
Dude,
guess what?
Power trip, man.
Guess what? When I did the cleaning stuff, I knew where the teachers had their key. Said always take shits in their bathroom.
Just leave it.
Well, because they always
Did you
put
flush?
a couple times I didn't. But
I would.
no, but the key was like, I remember how they set the key, and it's like, because you had to do the vacuums. So I remember vacuuming the hall, but like, I was like, wait, this is teacher key. So I always just snuck and grabbed.
Yeah.
If you're an office aide, you could do whatever you want. You were in control of everybody.
Yeah.
What was that one dude? Looks Mr. Burns. What was that? Barry Amaker.
Oh God.
But he had that scooter. Remember that electric? He was the first one. He was like way beyond Tesla. Remember that electric scooter?
I don't think there was anybody in any part of the administration that I was fond of.
Really?
Yeah, there was. I had teachers that I loved.
How about Coach Baggett?
No.
Really?
Most of the coaches I didn't like either.
Kim Leetort? Okay, hold on.
Dude, all right, so here's
Marshall.
Doug, no, they didn't like me, bro, and I didn't like them. We didn't like
you're
each
the
other.
tallest one in our class, like our group,
It's
right?
because I didn't. This is the problem with the coaches that was at that school. They wanted you to kiss their ass, and I refused to kiss their ass. I refused. They wanted you to be up at the field house doing shit, and I'm like, I'm at football camps, bro. I ain't got time to worry about y'all's fucking bullshit at the field house. And they literally, dude, they talk shit. I found out from my coach at Perk, who was he was the offensive line coach at Mississippi State when they were recruiting me. And he told me once he came to Perk, he was like, your coach is badmouthed you to everybody. That's why you didn't get a D1 scholarship.
But
and I don't care. All of them.
Oh shit!
How
I didn't know
one?
that.
I won, and I don't care what happened. People will be like, you hear what happened to Coach so-and-so? I don't care. I don't care what happened to any of those coaches.
I just like Kim Leetort because he taught me how to drive cars, and I smoked cigarettes in the back of the fucking. Nobody fuck with me. I like cigarettes back then. I don't smoke anymore. Well, if I have a beer every now and then, if I'm out, I might smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
But everybody just let me me and Brandon Bailey smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah.
But Kim was like, he'd always just turn the eye.
Right. Like, no, they had like their cool moments, but man, I know a lot of people, man, a lot of people be like, bro, you got to get over stuff. I'm like, I am over things, but I don't forget and I don't forgive. But it's nothing to me. I don't suggest anyone do that.
You.
You know what I'm saying? Like here's the thing, like I don't forget shit and I don't forgive you, but I can let you exist and me not care. If that makes any kind of sense.
I wasn't mean to you though, right?
Nah.
Okay, cool.
Nah, like salute, bro. No, like, and that was one of the things we talked about, right? Where I was like, man, I was trying to be cool with I wanted to be cool with like everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like
You were a sweetheart, man.
I could jam out with anybody. I could hang out with anybody. Like, and it was really weird because of how people were. People didn't understand it. Like back when, like in middle school, when I showed up, like, bro, I love listening to Korn and Marilyn Manson, but the Golfs were like, you don't dress like us. And I'm like, well, fuck you.
Because you always wore jerseys.
I always wore jerseys
and white t-shirts underneath it.
Oh, dog. Oh, man,
I remember
I know. But you know what else I wore?
I remember shit
when
too.
people thought I was really preppy
Yeah.
was because my father was a big golfer. My biological father was a big golfer, and him and my brothers, that all my brothers from him, they all were golf fanatics, and so he bought me a bunch of Tiger Woods shirts when Tiger Woods had his like first shit come out, and so I had like every color Tiger Woods polo. And I would wear that. So everyone was like, oh, you're like this preppy dude. I'm like, dude, I don't like to wear nothing but like sports paraphernalia. Give me Florida State and Atlanta Falcons all day.
But that's what you'd wear. You always wear white t-shirts,
Yeah.
jerseys.
Yeah.
And
you ever wear a jersey without a shirt underneath it?
I don't.
And this was before like Under Armour synthetic stuff came out.
I have one jersey, and it's Justin Hewlett. He during the pandemic he played for Southern Miss.
Matt Creel. So me and Matt,
he's Brandon Bailey's first cousin.
We lived right across the street from each other as a kid. Before I moved to Brandon, we lived right across the street from each other.
Hey,
yeah.
If you're in here, share this motherfucker. Just share it. Share it if you like. If you know, sting them. If you know what's going on here, you already know. But no, you always like I said, like I used to like. I remember you used to always jump on your back and you carry me around.
Yeah, like yeah, it was cool, bro. Like
no, you've always been a sweet person. You've always been a very just genuine sweet person. Like I remember, like every time I seen you, like I'd try to hop on your back because I was like, I don't know, you're. I'm not,
dude. It's what the smaller people do to big people, bro.
I know
you got to. And
yeah, but I will say Big Miller. I'm not gonna say what I called you.
Yeah,
but you know what I called you. But no, you've always been just very like you're kind of like a guiding light of like positivity. You're never like you never run around and like, hey, especially at your size, you're never like because you were the largest person in our fucking school. You and Joseph Dom. And I'll shout out to Joseph too, but
Joseph was as tall as shit, bro. I was always he always had like an inch or two on me, man. I hated it.
But y'all would never go around to like Joseph. Fuck y'all. Like y'all never like teased anybody, never hurt anybody. You're always just like, and y'all would take a lot of shit, both of y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is like my parents taught me really young was like, hey, you know, like I wasn't allowed to go Halloween, do trick-or-treating ever since I was 12. Because my parents was like, you look like a grown man.
You did.
Like you look like a grown like when you're 12 years old and you're 6 feet tall and almost 200 pounds.
Answer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Devin jump on my back. Yeah. When you got 300 plus pounds jumping on your back. Yeah, I'm gonna fold, bro. My back ain't made for that anymore. Years ago, I got you, brother, but not. But no, that was the thing. My parents, I look like a grown man at 12 years old. You know, you're 6 feet tall, almost 200 pounds. You know, you look like a grown man. And so my parents taught me really young was like, hey, people are going to treat you different. People are going to respect you. People are going to, yeah. And because people think you're older, they expect more out of you. So I had to walk away. Anytime people wanted to try to get into an altercation, I had to try to walk away. Like anytime people like mess with me, when it came to doing things, people expect more out of you. When I mess up, oh my God, it's the end of the world. But I'm like, yo, they're over here fucking up left and right. And y'all don't care. They're like, we expect more out of you. I'm like, because why? I'm big. Like, this is bullshit.
All right. I say right now, I say me and you light a cigar. I want a cigar. And you brought cigars. I want a cigar.
All right.
But no, that was like, no, man, you've always been that person where I always had fun hanging out with. And I would put that with Sam Naves, Winston Caesar. Joshua. Yeah. I mean, it was that kind of situation that St. Martin is forever. But yeah, dude, you never like caused any shit to nobody. And that's what I was trying to say is like, you know, now you hit TikTok heavy and everybody's like, well, he's this person. I'm like, motherfucker, I grew up with him. He's been a fucking guiding light, a very beautiful person to everybody around us. He doesn't cause shit to nobody. And that's something I always fucking loved about you.
I appreciate that, you know.
So what am I speaking on this?
I can't recall it. It's the same cigar company that makes. So the first cigar, hold on. So the first cigar that I was trying to smoke, well, I smoked a few, but when I started doing it on my own, Michael Bryant really got me into smoking cigars. So
Another
Shout
insurance
out.
gosh.
yeah, shout out to Michael
He's a
Bryant.
sweetheart, too.
Yeah, Matt. See, Matt will say, yeah, can't confirm. Biggest fucking 12. Yeah. And so he got me into smoking cigars. I just like puffing on them, and then when I drink in, I like to puff on them. I forget the name of the brand. I think it's too small on here, but they have a cigar called Fat Bottom Betty, and I picked it up, and it has like a blueberry type of flavoring, but it's called Fat Bottom Betty, and I'm like, who don't like a fat bottom? So I had to smoke it, and so this is a little bit.
Family,
I think
you got a good ass girl. That's one of my favorite things.
yeah. Look, man, I don't discriminate, but like, look, a nice fat bottom is a
I
lovely
love
thing.
a good ass. My girl's got a great ass.
So, well,
So does oh, okay.
so this is more of a chocolatey flavor.
Oh, so I
And I
real quick. Kenny Holloway, now he's the mayor of Oak Springs, but I met him and he gave me one of these small cigars. Might be the same one to ask him, but we're at the office one day. He invited me over, said, "You want a cigar?" This is, probably 5 years before he ran, and it was a chocolatey, and I could never figure out. I'm gonna see if this is it.
So there's a lot of different there's different brands that have the different flavorings, and so I didn't know. I just picked these up because I like. I started to find out when I smoke like a big cigar, it takes so much longer. So if I'm at a concert or something, I'm like, I'm not trying to miss a lot of the concert or the event that I'm at. So I started buying these smaller ones, and so that's what I did. And I didn't know these were the chocolate ones. Those are the only ones that they had, and I was like, yeah.
You got my heart. I'll hit it later in a little bit, but I have a purifier because I smoke God's lettuce is what I call it. But
Princess, you need a couple handfuls. That is more fact. If the couple of handfuls are actually overflowing, the more the merrier.
Yeah. See, I mean, look at Matt. Matt, you started doing social media too. Like you've been killing it. Matt's been doing it.
Yeah. Matt hit me up not too long ago, and it's really one of those things. Like, and I appreciate Matt, and I saw that he's got his thing going on, and he hit me up and was asking me about it, and it's really cool because like when people that know you like hit you up and let you know that they
support
like
you.
that shit. It's supporting.
Yeah, that's something you went back and saying like a lot of people that know you have been kind of rude. And I think that's bullshit. I think that's just like you should just be supportive.
Well, I wouldn't say they're necessarily rude. They're just not supportive. It's like they're low key kind of like they're haters. That's what a lot of people are. And it's usually a lot of people that know you are haters. They watch you and they see what you're doing, but they low key like hating because it's like you watching me, but you're not sharing, you're not liking, you're not commenting.
When did you did you ever have like, and you're not gonna don't have to say the person's name, but like when did you ever get correct with a person and be like, hey man, fuck off? Did you ever do that?
Nah. That's energy I'm not going to waste.
Okay.
So my energy is if I see someone, especially someone who might know me, and it's like you don't have anything positive to say about what I'm doing, it's only negative, man, Control Alt Delete. You know what I'm saying? Unfriend, block, get rid of you. You are done. I don't say goodbyes. I'm not none of that. Just I bet.
Look, followers will come. Like he said, I need to learn more about responding to my shit because I just put it out there.
Yeah.
I treat my social media. I always say like the podcast, and it's something I told my dad, and I was like, he's like, so what is your thing about like the podcast? I'm like, Dad, it's like I'm capturing memories. I'll go back in 20 years and be like, I do go back and watch my old podcast and cry. I'm like, this shit's dope. I'm learning how to, or be how can I be better than I once was?
Mhm.
I just literally it's come back. Sorry guys, we
Okay.
dropped. But no, I treat social media as a journal. Like I really do. Like I capture it. It's like I have in my cell phone because I do photography. I have 72,000 photos and videos.
Yeah.
It's
Hell
like,
yeah.
you seen my son earlier. He's Mario.
Dude, that was great. I was so happy when I saw that when I walked in. I was like, dude, this is great.
Next
This
month
is
he's gonna
great.
be a shit. I mean, everything he sees, he's like, if I had to guess, he's gonna eventually get into gaming, which he doesn't do any gaming.
Okay.
Like, but he changes characters like we did when we were kids.
Dude, he's cosplaying his ass off.
yeah, but yeah.
Dude, that in and of itself, it's a niche. I just cosplaying, man. That's great. I do horror cosplay, so
Really?
yeah.
What character?
Oh yeah.
What character?
Right now, my biggest ones that I do is Michael Myers and Ghostface. I have Freddy Krueger too. I'm trying to put together a good like Jason.
What's your favorite Michael Myers movie? I'm gonna tell you right now, mine's H2O. I'm gonna drop that. Like I like the original Michael Myers, but H2O is my shit. And I like Rob Zombie, but H2O is my shit.
I love Rob Zombie. I think Rob Zombie's awesome. I'll go back to the originals. Give me the originals because it's just there's something about that grittiness that's with the scores, the music, just how like when Rob Zombie took over in the H2O and the newer ones, like the video is just the cinematography is so clear. I like that grittiness. You know, you could tell it's old.
Do you know
there's an extra creep factor to that?
Do you know it was a William Shatner mask from Star Trek that created that? It was
Yeah.
and they painted it white and they cut their no, I'm a big Michael Myers. It's me and my buddy Zach Coolidge. Which
Okay.
he's actually Coast Guard and shit, he's like a gun teacher now. But me and him would always trade off when we were teenagers. It was us and Halloween franchise was I loved the Halloween franchise. I didn't like 4 because they didn't have them in it. It was that trick or treat one.
Yeah.
But it was H2O for me. It was like the Josh Harmon or one of the fucking.
And it would Busta Rhymes in it as well.
That was Resurrection.
Was that Resurrection? Okay.
The one before was like where they're at the college where Jamie Lee Curtis came back and she was like a teacher. Oh, fuck. Is it Josh Harmon? But they were all in a private school and she was like.
And there's been so many.
Mine's H2O though. I'll tell you right now, I have it on digital, I have it on DVD. It was just like they all went to college, like they went to not college, but they went to a private school and he got to the private school.
Yeah.
And I think it had LL Cool J. Yeah. LL Cool J got fucking murdered in that one.
Yeah, they start all to blend in. But I just love the originals. I like the old school Jasons and Freddy's and Halloweens, and because it's that gritty. I don't know if it's the right word to say gritty, but it's just the grittiness.
There's no CGI. There's no CGI. So he's H2O too. Matt's but CGI. There's no like I said, I can't continue to watch CGI so much. So yeah, I'm with you. Like number 1 was freaky, but number 1 and 2 was number 2 was like the clown, the niece. But I think the biggest thing was fucking you're right because you just like the sound, like you like.
It's so. But I think like when you're watching it, because like it's like when you watch something and it looks old, there's an extra creepy, and of course Divvy is like, that's the cinematography guy. He knows all. He went to school for it, right? So that's why he's like, hey, you need photography pointers, hit me up anytime, you know, because he knows the right words to use. I'm just like, look, it's just that old look, that old sound, distortion, just all of that is what makes it just so extra shit.
Think about this.
Scared of the dark.
So think about like my promo with that you shared was Can't Hurt by Plowed. He's from Biloxi. And I add that because it's that extra texture.
Yeah.
And he has nice. Pop One Podcast. He's a sponsor of the show, but it's the added texture. That's good shit. Like seriously, like we can add Justin. If we want to do Justin's campaign, we add some fucking good music to it. Yeah. Game time.
That's my new fave right there. Terrifier.
That's it.
Oh my god, it gets better and better. The original was great, and in each one, they're just more ridiculous each time. And like Terrifier 3, like I went to the movies. It was like one of like the Terrifier 3 was like one of like the last 3 or 4, only like 3 or 4 movies I've seen, went to the actual theater to see in the last like 5 years.
So with me and Emily, which is Miss Sheckle's daughter, St. Martin, Emily hates scary movies. She thinks scary movies is Harry Potter. It's her thing. She reads a chapter every
Teach
night.
their own, man.
And my son's the same way. And I just I felt in my heart, I was like, I can't, like I'm not allowed to watch it in our house. If I've tried, like I've watched H2O, I'll slide an H2O up here, but I'm not allowed to watch it in our house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because they freak out, they get nightmares, and I'm like, shit. I love horror films, and I always tell them like, I'll do whatever, just want to watch one horror film with you. So like horror film to Oliver and Emily is like Jurassic Park. Like, and that's okay because it's my family. It's, you adapt to how they feel, but no, like I like Killer Clowns from Outer Space was one of my favorites growing up, and Jason's, the original Jason's. No, Freddy versus Jason's. I mean, especially when Freddy turned into a bong. I mean, I've been in this world. Like,
people are always like, "How can you watch Freddy?" I'm like, if you watch Freddy, Freddy Krueger is hilarious. Shout out to Robert Englund. Freddy Krueger is hilarious.
By far the best Freddy.
He is Freddy. He is the funniest villain, like, ever. He is hilarious. Like, if you actually go back and watch all the Freddy movies, he's comical.
But it was that. But it's a sound like you said. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Freddy's coming.
1, 2, Freddy's coming.
Yeah,
for
there you
you. 3, 4, you better lock the door. It was great. It was great. I love it. You know, shout out to my grandfather, may he rest in peace. He used to videotape everything. So he had all the movies. Me and my cousins are 5, 6, 7 years old, and he's like, "Come here, guys. Come here, watch this." We're watching Freddy, Jason, the Leprechaun. We're watching all of it. And so we grew up watching it. It was great. And like my grandfather was like a huge Halloween fanatic. Like his house would be just covered in Halloween animatronics and shit. It was great. Which is great. Which then it kind of like,
Is he still alive or no?
No, he all passed away. All my grandparents passed away.
So where's all the videos and shit at? Who has them?
They might still be at the house.
We need to get them.
My uncle and my cousin lived there, so they took over living there. So yeah, but they might be there. I mean, old VHSs where like he would just screen record everything that come on TV. You know, he was the one that had like the silver box with the chip in it, so he can get all the movie channels. So he could like video record
the black
everything.
box.
Yeah, the little black box.
I had one at my parents' house in Latimer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's read some comments. H2O, Terrifier. Yeah. I need to watch it. I've been thinking about watching that.
Terrifier movies are all about gore. It's not necessarily horror. It's all about gore and the
like pulling a fingernail, teeth, stuff like that.
I'm gonna give you away one. He saws a woman in half, starting from the bottom while hanging upside down. That's the first one. Oh yeah, and the new one is just even better. Like it's all about gore and finding new ways to make people want to vomit. Yeah. While being funny. It's funny because
I probably shit myself.
Yeah.
I mean, scary movies scare me, but that's why I like watching them. It's kind of like an adrenaline thing for me. It's like drinking 3 Red Bulls randomly. It's adrenaline.
Don't worry, Matt. There it is, a woman in half. Yeah, I can tell him about that because even though you can like hear that's what he does, seeing it is a whole nother ball game. It's great. It's
Justin, we will help you with the campaign, but we're going out like big timers. We will do a whole rap video.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
No, he's good at what he does. He's like, that's what I said. Like me and his dad is because his dad invested his campaign, and his dad doesn't spend money. His dad works like his dad doesn't spend money on shit.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Mark, he's very frugal, but he runs a Raleigh Auto Parts in South Mississippi. And he goes, I remember being out in the parking lot because I just got my my Lightning, I have a Ford Lightning, and he goes, yeah, I'm all in, my son. And he's like, yeah, I spent a lot of money on this campaign. He said, but that's what my little boy wants to do. Mr. Mark makes money. He doesn't. He literally he lives in the same house in St. Martin, but like he was so proud of Justin. He's like, I'm all in for my little boy. And that was like a real that's a dad thing where you're like,
Yeah.
what? He's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He can Mr. Mark can retire right now.
That's what dads are supposed to do.
Yeah, but Mr. Mark can retire right now,
Mm.
and people are like, who the hell is this guy? It's like that dude's got better investments than you ever thought about in life.
Right.
And that was something I knew from having Oliver. I was like, this is a different person. Let me ask that one because I might have a shot in a second.
Heck yeah.
But Mr. Mark is one of the people that I idolize as like an actual true business person. Like if you take anybody, it's literally Mr. Mark. He's like, Jesus, like he's like one of them undercover, like sleeping like badasses. What's that saying?
Maybe, like, yeah, bro, can we at least not saw her in half? Oh well. Yeah, no, we gotta saw everybody in half. Look,
So,
man,
Terrifier was a low budget horror film, right?
the very first one was very low budget. The second one, compared to other movies, yes, they're all like low budget. This third one, you could tell they put a little more money into it, but it's great. Yeah, it's nowhere near the budget of these other movies. And once again, like I said, those first couple, like the grittiness of it, even though they were newer movies, the low budget grittiness of it made it just, there's something about that. I love it.
I mean, did you see Hunter Bickham's movies?
Mm-mm.
Interfere and then Interfere 2. Hunter Bickham produced 2 TV version zombie horror films, and you can get them on Amazon, guys. I have both of them. What, you need a lighter?
Yeah, I got it.
I might have put it somewhere.
Somehow I must have asked it out. Oh, sure. Okay. But yeah, no, okay.
Hunter's been making horror films. Like literally. He's been like, because his grandma was a big Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and she was just like your grandpa. Like she had all the VHSs. She had a house in Oak Springs where it wrapped around where it was just nothing but horror films.
Nice.
My first time ever watching Matthew McConaughey in Texas Chainsaw Massacre was on her VHS.
Okay. Hell yeah. That's what's up. Okay. No, I got it good. That shit flamed up in my face. Like, oh shit.
I call him Mr. O'Reilly. All right. Well, I got to go pee.
All right. Definitely.
Do a rant. Can we do a rant? How do we find a rant?
Let's do a rant. All right.
Do
it.
Can you just look? So right here,
I'm curious who Viking Princess is.
It's probably one. I
because
mean,
we know everybody else. I'm trying to figure out.
I would right here, if you look at the camera, and I would just go take a topic and go at it. You're probably one of the best. Like, back in the day was it oral communication for us in class?
Oral communication.
That was it. You're a debater. You don't know me, LOL. Oh shit!
You don't know me. Well, damn. All right.
Well, I'm gonna go pee.
Well, Bumblebee Tuna with that one. You know,
just pick a topic and let Jacob
freestyle. No, man, I don't like freestyling too much. Like, it's kind of like the creativeness. Like, I don't know how I got here, but y'all kind of funny. I mean, I'm funny looking, but appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't know what the freestyle about. Like, what can we talk about right now? You know what I'm saying? The fact of what they're trying to get rid of TikTok instead of solving. They're trying to get rid of TikTok instead of solving fucking country problems. Yeah, goobers. Topic: the Saints. Fuck the Saints. How about that? Since we're on the coast, man, fuck them Saints. You know what I've noticed about the coast? I noticed that y'all aren't wearing Saint shit everywhere. I noticed that. I noticed y'all don't wear Saint shit anymore. Y'all out here back wearing like your LSU gear. The Caesar's Palace, whatever, is like half full of the other team's fans again. Love it. Matt Westover. What's up, buddy? Women overvaluing themselves in the dating market. Gee, look, man. Hey, look. All right, Justin, look, we're not going to talk about the Seminoles. They got cheated out of the playoffs, which has ruined them. That's what that goes. And the Falcons, look, man, we can't get a defense to save our fucking life. Okay, it's a Falcon way. But Matt, women overvaluing themselves in the dating market. You want me to really start some shit, aren't you? Simple fact of the matter is, you said it, overvaluing. Look, man, everyone's got value in the dating market, right? But the shit that's out here in the dating world, like motherfuckers wanting goddamn Superman. Pardon my French, but wanting Superman out here, it's crazy. But no, the problem is the overvalue. It ain't even really that they're overvaluing themselves. Most people out here in this dating world, they're so bitter and broken and fail to realize that they need therapy that they're going to consistently choose the fucking goobers that they do. That's why they consistently choose the goobers they do, and they go on there like men ain't shit rants, and it's just goober. But everyone's got value. Value is in the eye of the beholder, you know. But a lot of people, I mean, I see a lot of guys, don't worry, I see a lot of men do the same thing where, oh, appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. I see a lot of dudes do the same thing. You know, they all want the IG baddies, but then, you know, hate when the IG baddies get attention and don't want to act the way they do. Cause, you know, here we are, we live down here on the Gulf Coast, the Bible Belt, even though they're all reproducing out of wedlock and whatnot. But, you know, contradicting all their religious beliefs. But I mean, hey, let's get into it, you know. You wanted me to get on a rant? Let's get on a rant. You know,
send it.
The men and women, like I know I talk about dating, but men and women are out here doing a bunch of goober stuff. I picked up the word goober that I like to use instead of other words. I just pick goober because it's friendly.
And you, I mean, yeah, fucking pick your own world.
Oh man, I'm telling you, look, man, it's funny, man. The dating world is something special. But you know, one thing I will say about the dating world is I love everyone when I was on Facebook complaining about dating and like, bro, this shit is for the birds. This shit has gone downhill bad. And everybody was like, yo, that's just you. You're just bitter. You just hate women. You know, and then all of those people got divorced and they were like, oh my God, what happened to the dating world? What happened? So I tell everyone, if you are married, figure it the fuck out. Okay. Figure it out because there ain't shit in these streets. Okay. A bunch of drama, a bunch of single parents, a bunch of mentally and emotionally damaged people. So don't do that. And trust me, you're going to run into too many. And this is the thing, not everybody, but a lot. And the problem is a lot of people that are damaged and hurt, they're getting with people who aren't, and it's ruining people. So,
I mean, so you're saying
you wanted me to go on a little rant there. There we go.
No, but it's a good rant. I mean, I think we're all people, and
yeah,
if you have a bad day, you don't make an exit.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially you try to figure things out and work on it.
Yeah.
I mean, my life's not perfect and we disagree on a lot of things, but right. I mean, we do have a son. We dated for 2 weeks, had a kid.
There you go.
3 months later, bought a forever home.
There you go.
Started this podcast because I said, Emily, I want to do a podcast. And she was like, if you believe, Emily's big thing for me is if you believe in it, go.
That's awesome.
No,
like you don't understand. That's a beautiful thing.
But we were both 30. We were both 30. So make sure.
My bad.
No, you're good. But we were both 30. And I think at the time we both were cheated on and stuff like that. But when we got together, like I was just trying to figure out how to like build. I had the match store at Tom, I had Janie King, I had a couple companies. So we were just like Carrie Joe set us up, but we were just like she was
Carrie Joe,
not Butteridge. It's our Carrie Joe, but we were just communicating. She was living in downtown Hattiesburg, right behind T-Bones, and we're 30, and I think that was the biggest thing for us is like, let's go. And then she, a couple weeks later, she was pregnant. It was either, run away or fucking make it work. And it's one of the coolest things about her. She is definitely my backbone.
Matt, we definitely can do that one day, brother. Sorry.
But it works, but it does work that way. Like you said, like you got to figure it out. Like we're always going to aggravate each other. Like we aggravate each other all the time.
Right. And so y'all accepted each other.
Yeah.
For your flaws
Yeah.
and your issues, and then you learn to communicate it because there's a bigger picture there.
Correct.
Right.
And I love it. Like I love her to death. Like I adore her because she's the best mom I've ever seen. Like we went from Bayview as a school to homeschool, and that's where half the studio got split. When we first bought this house, she goes, "You can have upstairs, but don't you touch downstairs." I was like, all right.
Hell yeah.
Well, then she got a promotion at her college where she can work from home. And I went upstairs and said, well, I got this other half that you've seen. I was like, it's yours. I said, you're better off separating your work from downstairs.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, I think it's time for us to homeschool Oliver. And now that Oliver's got his own like kids like classroom desk. It's a full school over there with shit on the wall. Like it's amazing.
That's great.
But it was us like communicating more like friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she is my soulmate, but she is my friend.
Yeah.
And I don't like,
It's your partner, man.
Yeah. She's
more than a friend. That's your partner.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of people get with people and even though you're supposed to be partners, you're not. A lot of people don't want to be partners. And that's the problem with today is a lot of people want to be independent versus being a partner and coming together and figuring that out.
We share money.
Great.
We share everything.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, she has a minivan. It's mine.
I love that, man. I love that.
I mean, I'm getting better. I'm the more selfish one out of us. But that's just how I've always been. So, but she understands it, and
she accepts it.
Yeah. Like I started, like you got monetized, and I started getting monetized too. But it was like you fill this out, like
yeah.
Because we have an LLC and it's our marketing company. I'm like, but it's her company. I mean, Simon We is her company, and yeah, I love it. I think it's the most beautiful thing is like when I started getting monetized, I'm like, here, fill this out because we have money here.
Yeah, 100%.
Go buy something with it.
That's fucking great. That's fucking great.
I think 30 was good. I think 30 meeting somebody at 30 because for me is from like 18 to your mid 20s, and there are people that do work with it, but it is a learning curve.
Yeah. So that's great. I envy that. I actually tell everyone, I'm like, man, make it work. I love marriage and love's a beautiful thing. And when you find someone who actually accepts you for who you are and wants to work as a team and goes, you want to do this? Let's do it.
I think the biggest thing about me and Emily is we both like our space. We don't have to have a person attached to us.
Yeah. That's cool.
I think it's like she has her thing. I have my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like, having somebody that's always attached. I have so many friends that are married and they're just nonstop. Like, where are you at? I got a tracker on you.
Yes, princess, I'm single.
Who's this
yeah,
person?
I don't know, but she's here. Yeah, I am single. Don't ask me. Probably a billion red flags.
Do you want him to pull his DMs up?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head though. That's something that I've heard a lot of people talk about in the dating scene, doing the dating content and whatnot. A lot of people don't know how to be their separate person. A lot of people don't have hobbies, and that causes a rift in a lot of people's relationships is because they don't have hobbies. So like I've had girls try to date me, and because like I'm playing my video games, I got this going on, I got that going on. They're like, why you gotta do that? Come hang out with me while I scroll on my phone. And I'm like, I'm just doing a hobby. Like, pick up a hobby. Start doing your hobby. If I'm playing video games, why don't you go do your hobby? Or like, come in here and do your hobby. I had an ex once. I used to say like, why don't you come in here? All you're doing is scrolling on fucking Facebook. Let me play fucking Madden and you scroll on Facebook and here. I don't want to do that. Well,
so there's no like crafts or no. Especially also another thing too is one thing I have is like, Emily has Carrie Joe, but there's no extra drama. There's no extra person because my friends don't come in and tell us anything. So we don't. It's always positive influence towards stuff, but like there's not a person that's like get rid of her. I would not hear it anyways.
Yeah,
I talked to her, but that's one thing I love about Emily is like she's so independent. Like she has great friends, but she controls them. like she
Mhm.
controls like we keep ourselves personal because like there's days where I lose my shit
Yeah.
and she's like, hold up. And she
You're-
puts me in check.
Yeah.
I get put in check a lot.
She puts you in check, probably like understands maybe you're going through something.
It's 70%, 30%.
Right.
It's me,
Right.
30%.
And what I've noticed, and this is what I noticed about a lot of people, and they make this fucking mistake. And I hate the fact that people want to wait till they're 45 to figure this out. Just because you and your person are going through something,
Yeah.
stop running to your goober friends and telling them all the negative things that are going on. Because all that's going to cause is more negativity. And that's what's going to tell them. That's when you hear people go, you need to leave them. You need to leave them. You need to leave. Because that's all they're going to say.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that, a lot of people only give one side of things. Right. Like my friends, like Divvy Up and my handful of like very close friends. That was the one thing I love about them. Anytime I was going through something, they would say, show me your text. Show me the whole story there, buddy. And they would be like, they would play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we know
Well, that's a real friend.
Oh, no, like real friends. And so they would say, we know you. What did you say? What exactly did you do? And there was times where they were like, okay, you're not wrong. But there was a lot of times where they were like, take your fat ass and go apologize. You're in the wrong for that, buddy. And I'd be like, all right, I appreciate it.
That's
guys.
considered a good friend.
Great friends.
Yeah.
Man, I always say these are my brothers from another mother. And yeah, it's great. And I think everyone, from the mental health aspect, I think that's something that like everybody needs to find. They might not be the most popular friends, popular people. They might not be the richest, the most suave, but they bring value that you actually need versus what you're wanting. And if you keep people like that around you, I think that's like the best thing you can possibly do.
And that's facts. That's what I said. I was like, you have these, thoughts, and I was like, hey, man, I've lived it myself. And I think the biggest thing is, we all are full of shit. We all have our own issues.
Yeah.
Like we really do. Everybody has their own fucking issues. That's why like it's so hard to like dating pool. If you go into a bar and you meet your dream one, good fucking luck. Like Jesus Christ, I'm almost 40 years old. I'll tell you right now, the biggest problem with me going out is deja vu. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a real thing.
They're
there though. Like if you just let it go, like I did a book called by Tucker Max called "Be What Women Want You to Be" by Tucker Max. Was one of it changed my life because it's a scenario book, and because I was going through a lot before me and Emily met, and I just realized I don't want to sit here and play games when I meet people.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sit there and like who should text first? Who should text?
Oh yeah.
Faster? Who should turn their read off?
Oh yeah. Yeah. For 2025, I turn my read messages on. Y'all motherfuckers gonna know when I just look. I might be ignoring you, and then I might have like read your message, and I like something happened, and I had to put my phone down. Like, fuck it, learn some patience. You know what I mean?
I own one thing. Me and Emily both have life insurance policies, but I own one thing. I own my Ford Lightning. Everything else is all hers, and that's fine. I'm gonna fucking take a check because I'll tell you what, that's a good person, and I don't know. It was just cool to like us go through and, whether it's I'm trying to take a shit in the morning or, it's just, I am more messy. Like she is, I have an angel, but I do come in clutch on certain things that she's there. I'm there for her. Like she does go through, if there's messages and stuff, it's funny as shit to me. Like, I'm like, here, babe, look at this shit. we're both in it.
That's great. I love that. I think that's amazing.
I don't know if it goes to like 18, 16, 15, 14, or when I was 30. We're 2 weeks apart, 3 weeks apart.
Mm-hmm.
She's way older than me. That's our joke. Like we're both 38.
Yeah, that's great, man. I love when people can be that way. I think those are like everyone that I've seen that's like in really great relationships. Like they're all very similar in that way.
She's way smarter than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm creative.
You compliment each other.
I would say, yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so, but like it's being creative. For me, like I'm a dreamer, and I'll fucking turn an idea into a concept. Carter's
Yeah.
Champions or nonprofits. She, her mom was a teacher for 35 years, and her focus is education, and she cares about, for a long time she did orientation coordinating, which is when you go to college. You would tell her things, and she would tell you your options.
Yeah.
She'd want to see you succeed.
Right.
That's what she loves. And I'm like, I have a GED. I went to Art Institute. But like I always tell her all the time, I was like, I don't think you fucking need college. But she does think you need college. And it's that kind of like conversation. She's like, I'll write text and I have to get her to proofread it.
Yeah.
Because I'm dyslexic.
But what's great about that is, like I said, like you'll compliment each other and you're not like judging each other for that. So like where you fall, she picks up.
Yeah.
And maybe where she falls, you pick up.
Like,
and that's a great thing. Like me having my social media, every girl that tries to like date me, and by the way, princess, I will keep calling you princess. Don't tell me not to call you something, because that's what you will be called.
Yeah. This is their
Anyway, yeah, one thing I've noticed about dating is that people like women will love the fact that like I have a little clout online, right? I don't like to think that like I'm anybody like special, right? I don't act that way. I don't want to be that way, right? But women will like that about me. Oh God, he's got a little bit of a following. But then when they start trying to take me seriously, it's like, I have a problem with your social media. And it's like, well,
I call that control.
It's control. And it's like, it was here before you. And the thing is, what I love about it, and I guess this is my point I was trying to get to, is what I love about that is that you have these ideas and you got this stuff going on, and she's willing to like help you in any way possible and support you in that. Where I don't get that. I haven't found that, where it's like, where's the support? Where is it like, you know what? I never had a woman come and go, you know what would be better? How about you do this? Let's see how that works. None of that. It's just like, hey, can you start blocking all these women? And I just don't like the fact that I don't trust you having all these women follow you. And it's like, well, I guess you got to go.
I think a big thing for me is I wasn't looking too. Wasn't chasing the relationship. And that's what I was saying. Like when I started getting monetized, I was like, here, Emily, figure this shit out. Here,
Right.
Emily, I can't do insurance for this girl because she keeps talking to me about her ex-husband. And she's like, oh shit. I'm like, read these texts. It's like, Emily's my admin. And she's the same way. Like, I mean, I've got drunk many nights, and she's, I've been out with the boys, bars, and she's always the best one that picks us up and gets us breakfast. But she's been through a World War II.
Yeah.
But one thing about us is we both were cheated on. And we knew that when we first like realized, we're like, holy shit. I remember the day, because I had my house in Hickory Hills. That's when I was doing streaming stuff. And she came to my house. I was in a hot tub. I was listening to the Revivalist.
Okay.
And she came in. Her face was so stressed. It was so stressed. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And like, I'm sitting there, jacuzzi tub. It's not a big house, 1,400 square foot. I'm just proud. It's my home, and this is how I start my days. I always do. I'm a bath guy, so I'm sitting there just jamming out.
I can't fit in a bathtub, by the way.
Well, sorry, I'm only fucking 5'11".
No, I am envious. Trust me, I have tried to take baths, and like only half my body fits in the bathtub. So unless I get like a jacuzzi, like a hot tub jacuzzi, like I won't fit.
This is a skinny one too, so it really piss you off. But I was listening to music, getting ready. I was like, the girl I've been hanging out with coming in town from Hattiesburg, because I knew she's already got her master's. Like she's you could tell this is a motherfucker that knows what she's doing. But I seen her eyes, and her eyes are red, and she's like, I got to tell you something, but you need to get out of the tub first. And I walk out of the tub, and there's a plastic bag with a dad book and 2 pregnancy tests. And it goes, I'm pregnant. And she's stressed. And I'm like, this is fucking cool. And I remember calling my dad, which I'm rest in peace, Dad. But I remember calling my dad and go like, Dad, you're about to be a grandpa. And then I call Mom, and she's like, what? Yeah, we're 30. We're both 30. And
That's great.
and that's one thing I always, and like, I never read the books. I'm an audio book guy, but I still have the book. And it was just one of the things where like, we're freaking the fuck out. Like, well, we couldn't live in Goshen and Hickory Hills, which already had so much equity in the house.
Yeah.
So like, we got to find, she was driving every day for an hour and 10 minutes for the last 4 fucking years. Cause she was working at Poplarville.
Okay.
So she'd drive 2 hours a fucking day, but we found a place here
Mm-hmm.
to make it where it was easier for her to drive. We knew that
Nice.
her and Goshen, it'd be fucking 4 hours a day. And we're like, no. And we had to find a house, and we went in house shopping, and I was like, I'll figure this shit out, and I will be a good dad. I didn't even know fucking how to be a dad, and I still don't.
Nobody knows how to be a
It's
dad.
so tough. My kid has, well, you seen him. He's a character.
Dude, it was the greatest thing when I'm like little Mario. When I walk through the door, I'm like,
it's in the living room too.
I'm like, brother, I'm home. Like, this is my people's right here. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
And it's so beautiful though. He's such a beautiful kid, and I'm a little tougher on him about like, being, manners. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, no, sir. I love manners.
Yeah.
And but it's like, my insurance company is called Oliver Scott Insurance. That is his fucking name. And I'm so proud of like what, I don't know, life's taking me on this journey, and I'm not going to stop this journey, but like when I think about girls, it's definitely Emily, because like we only were together for a couple weeks.
That's crazy.
We didn't like fall in love. We went on a couple dates, went to a concert, and had a kid, and do bowling, and had a kid. And it was like, are we going to get on this train or not?
Yeah.
I would never.
And that's what's crazy is that y'all did that, right? And then you got people who date for years and then can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the last time I got told, this is gonna be a sad moment, y'all. Sorry.
Yeah, fuck sad.
But fuck it, like it's okay.
I tell you the truth.
So I was on a trip, and I was in like a year-long relationship with this girl while I was in Italy. Yeah. And we broke up. She, Brazilian chick, literally batshit crazy, was waking. She messaged me. So while I was in Italy, right? She messaged every woman on my friends list on Facebook and was like messaging them like, don't talk to my fucking fiance. Who the fuck are you?
That's
Blah, blah,
kind
blah,
of
blah.
fucking weird.
Like crazy. Was waking me up
Shout
at
out
like
Anthony. You know what I'm talking about.
was waking me up at like 3 a.m. She's like, let me see your fucking phone. I'm like, why are you up? I'm like, I got to be up in like 2 hours. Like, let me see your phone. I like throw her my phone. I'm like, here. And she like, you erased everything anyway. And I'm like, because you don't find it like, and when I mean, she was probably the most gorgeous woman I've ever dated in my life. Like, she was literally a model. And I found this out from my neighbor, right? I didn't know who this chick was. Like, we were dating. Like, I knew her until she comes over one day, and my friend, my neighbor, who was like a sister to me, she like would cook me food when like she cooked her family food and whatnot. But she knew I was American, and she spoke English, so she was like, loved me to death. Would cook me food, homemade Italian. Loved it. Anyway, so she
was it actually pasta? Because I've been on this whole YouTube thing with pasta.
It wasn't pasta. She would cook me stuff with like rice and whatnot.
Okay.
It was really good though. Really good. She just give me a big old bowl of it, and like I would hound it down. Right. So she, my ex was there, and cause she could come up and hang out, whatever. And, in this apartment I lived in, and she was like, it was the first time she saw her. And when I walked up, she's like, can I ask you a question? I was like, what's it? Because you know who she is? I'm like, yeah. And I said her name. I'm like, so-and-so. My girlfriend. I'm like, but do you know who she is? And I'm like, no. She's like, she's on billboards. And I'm like, oh. She says she did some modeling, but I mean, I'm not like, that's great. Like, she's beautiful, but I'm not like a starstruck type person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, that's cool, but like, this is my girlfriend. Like, yeah. She's like, she dates celebrities. And I'm like, well, I'm just here in the Navy. Just some dude in the Navy. And I'm dating her. But like, all right, well, that's cool. Right. And then, so realizing how insecure She was. She went through all that shit. So I'm on vacation. My bad. Good toss. So I go on vacation. I'm on like a 9-day vacation. I'll never forget it. This is one of those things you'll never forget, right? I'm on vacation. I'm in Prague. I'm like, I went to St. Patty's Day in Dublin for 2 days. Nothing better than St. Patty's Day in Dublin. Okay, by the way. Phenomenal time. Shout out to all my Irish friends. They showed me a great time. Then I went to London for a couple days, and then I went to Prague. And I get a text from her, and she's like, "Hey, you need to come back to Milan, like right now." She lived in Milan. And I said, "For what?" And she's like, "Well, I'm pregnant." She sent me all the pictures. And I said, "Okay." She goes, "Are we going to get back together?" Because we broke up. We've been broken up for like a month. She finds out she's pregnant. And I'm like, you're pregnant? Like, okay. I said, "Well, we'll talk about it when I get back." She's like, "I'm going at 6 a.m. in the morning to get an abortion." And I was like, "Well, I was like, look, I can't tell you we're going to get back together right now. So we need to have a conversation about some things before I can do that." I said, "I'll be back in 2 days. We'll talk about it." She's like, "I'm going to go at 6 a.m. So you have until 6 a.m. to let me know." I was like, "Well, I can't stop you from doing what you want to do." I said, "But I don't want you to do it. We'll talk about it when I get back." And then, of course, sure enough, 7 a.m. in the morning, I'm like, "Hey, I hope you didn't do what you went and did, just so you know." And she was like, "Nope." She showed me the documentation. She was in the hospital, blah, 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 blah. She had it done. And then she showed up like a week later to my apartment, crying, upset. And it's like, I mean, it's okay. Like, it's one of those things, like, it sucks because it's like, but you can't stop that. And she did it. And I'm like, all right, like, you did that.
What would you done? What would have you done?
Maybe if we could have had a conversation to discuss things, possibly got back together, and then who knows? I loved the woman. I did. I loved her, but I was like, I don't think she really understood the insecurity thing, the like your exes, and this is why I talk about all the time. It's like, I am not going to pay for what other people did to you. I'm not going to pay for what other people did to you. Right? If your exes cheat on you, don't treat me like I'm cheating on you when I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And so we would have to discuss that and be like, look, if we can do this, then let's make it work. Possibly married. I probably would have married her and been like, we're going to raise our kid. You're going to come.
I mean, I'm still not married. I've been looking at we're about to do some cool shit. Shout out to DJ Boris. We got some shit plans, but no, I mean, it was like, I was scared of it, but like, nah, I mean, I think I'm very, for me, is like, now, if you go through a situation where somebody rapes you or hurts you with, doing that situation, but nah, I mean, you got to just own what you did.
Yeah. And I would have. And it was like, I was all about it. I was like,
sorry, bud.
I was always going to do that. And I was like, I just wanted to have that conversation of like, look, neither one of us were cheating on each other. You were toxic because you obviously went through some things, but instead of talking to me about it, like, I was showing up to work in the Navy and they're like, "Dude, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good, man." They're like, "You look sick." Like, because I wasn't getting sleep. She was waking me up like every night at like 2 a.m. when I was, home, when my ship would go off, whatnot. But, she'd go back to Milan and she had a daughter. That was the sad part. She had a daughter already. So the fact that you went and did that, because I was like, give me a couple days to get back home. I'm not going to just end my vacation. Sorry, I'm not going to end my vacation. If you want to do that 3 days from now when I get back home and we have a conversation, then like, cool, there's no difference in that. But she did it. She showed back up, man, crying, and I consoled her for like, that night. And then she went on her way. And then she, called back. I mean, she reached out like a year later, was like, "I apologize. It was definitely me." And I was like, "Yeah, I said, it's what it is." But like I said, I also tell people this: I support women's right to do that. I support their right to do that. But I don't agree with it.
No, but I support the right on, like, if it was, being raped or abused, like being like in a situation that it wasn't two to tango. Mm-hmm. I'd like to say that. We use some words, two to tango. Yeah, dude, I was freaking nervous, and And I tell him like every day I fall more in love with her.
I'm a little envious of that. I'm just saying.
No, but it took us like we're just like, and we're like I still haven't proposed yet, and it's coming. But it's like this is my soulmate. Never been married. I own one fucking truck.
Yeah,
and we've great we have a board for Cars Champions, raised $550,000 for the hospital.
That's great,
and we're fucking going. She's a board member. I'm a co-founder. She still keeps me in checks, like motherfucker. But no, but I mean, I'm always chasing the money to like. I'm not big into money for like my personal use, but I'm big in the money to like make a difference for the coast. That's why the podcast is focused on the coast. I'm a coast rat. I'm so proud to be from where I'm at.
Yeah,
but like your situation is, I'm sorry, bud. Like, cause I tell you what, it's like I was terrified. Like, because we had Oliver premature. I think it was like right at 8 months, and everything falls in place. But like, I stayed in that. He was in an incubator and all that shit. But I stayed for like a week. I ate Adderall and fucking Snicker bars.
Yeah.
But he's my baby, and she was so fucked up. Like it took everything. I seen her insides. I remember when I seen everything about her, ribs and everything. They had to rip her open, and so I spent more times taking care of him. And look at him, it's like holy shit, he's way cooler than me. I said the word dope earlier. It's like I said that's dope.
That's why
Yeah. Well, I always say this is a joke. I carried him for 9 months. But it's like, but it was a situation where he's like, today is like, I said the word, I said, it's dope, son. And he goes, what does dope mean? She's like, that's good. I'm like, shit, I need to work on my vocabulary because I always talk slang, St. Martin shit. Like, what about you, Bo, Turbo? That's just like, I always talk slang, and I have a little man, and I do like I do mess with him, but I do mess with him because he's like my little buddy.
Yeah.
But he is my son. He's getting, the older he gets, the more he looks like her. Well, she's kind of Mexican. But no, she's like by far, I think everything falls in place. If you just let life
100%.
go.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, let life go and don't chase it. Just
100%. 100%. I mean, I know people be like, you need to stop chasing after women. I'm like, I ain't been dating in months. I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, you gotta let this life happen. And like I said, that is great. I love that.
You gotta have a person that has their own hobbies. You can't have a person that just wants to not have their own hobbies.
Dude,
it's so horrible. If you have a
dude,
person-
I have learned that and no, here's the thing. Here's the other part about that, right? About hobbies. Have productive hobbies. Okay. Like if your hobby is watching, like, here's my biggest thing, right?
Let's go.
If your fucking hobbies is nothing but negative type shit, like, no. Right. Prime example. What's the biggest hobby you think right now can you think of that causes problems? Well, there's two.
Social media apps.
Social media.
Yeah.
One thing, right? If your hobby is just scrolling on social media and constantly engaging and watching shit that's negatively affecting you subconsciously, that's the thing. People don't realize the negative effects that social media is having. Like if you're following like DIY stuff, like I like to follow, you know.
This has been here for about 2 months, and it's something that I really follow. Is I bought this from the thrift store. I had it as a kid. It's a magic chef. So I'm big into like smoking pot. I'm big into smoking pot and cooking like this.
Okay. I can't do that because that's, I can't smoke pot because of my job, but
this is me.
Very
it's
cool.
Not him.
Very cool.
But no, what is it? What is the other?
Reality TV. So reality TV is huge, right?
Are we talking Laguna Beach?
We're talking Laguna Beach. We're talking the Kardashians, the Real Housewives, even the Bachelor and Bachelorette. Like all reality TV majority of it is all scripted, and it thrives off of drama. Drama gets the ratings. And so therefore, if you meet people who constantly watch that, you'll realize like there's some negativity there. There is some issues there.
So you're the Kardashians on TikTok.
Yeah, man. Fuck them Kardashians.
No, but you've studied it, like you've seen it. Like, I mean,
I-
you're probably right on.
I just know this, like, right? People or generations before us didn't have access to seeing how the top people live on a 24/7 basis. So what do people do nowadays? They follow people and follow celebrities and whatnot and see how they're living, see what they're doing. And that is negatively affecting people's mental health because it's making people feel shitty about themselves because they're not living like the Kardashians. Well, I'm sorry your sex tape didn't, give you fame. I'm sorry your dad wasn't one of the most famous, lawyers with one of the most famous cases of all time. You know what I'm saying? You're not them. So when you watch this stuff and it negatively affects people, it starts making people go, I want that. I want that. Unless you give me that, I'm not happy. And that's where this whole hustle culture comes from because everyone's trying to achieve that.
So like plastic surgery, weight loss,
All of it.
Ozempic. It's
All
a
of
new
it.
thing.
All of it.
Okay.
Fucking, it's every garden gummy in video games. That's what I'm talking about. I can't say the garden gummies because my job, but video games all day long.
What is garden gummies?
I'm guessing that's gummies, like THC infused gummies.
Okay, well I'm down
Viking
for it.
Princess.
and-
Yeah. With my type of job, I cannot do that. I work for the federal government, so I can't.
Yeah, and I own an insurance. Oliver Scott Insurance. You're more than welcome to check it out. But I love gummies. Not really.
Look-
I mean, the gummies depends on like don't overkill it though. You don't want to be a gummies that are like you need to do a
Put you
light
in a
dose.
coma.
Yeah, you just want to like a five. Like I will tell you right now, if you ever do gummies, you want to be 5 milligrams or under. Don't ever do 10 milligrams until like just take it slow, have fun with it. You want a light trip, like you want to,
Do it responsibly. Start off small and then work your way up to what you need. What you like. I can't do it, but I can tell you, like, hey,
But everybody, it's all different though. Everything
and it affects people differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do
So,
that.
No gardening like glow pants. But yeah, so that's what I think is it's some of the major issues when it comes to this. A lot of people's like mental health nowadays is that people are what's the word I'm thinking of right now? They're taking in so much stuff that the previous generations didn't, and it's affecting people negatively. And it's the internet has allowed it, right? Previous generations didn't have the internet, so they don't know what it's like to constantly have access to people you never would have had access to, and how often.
My biggest fight is I hate SSRIs. I hate antidepressants.
Mhm.
Like if you do antidepressants, don't do it with do it with no alcohol. Like
Oh yeah,
like you have to but like antidepressants scare me more than anything. Like I've done the stupidest shroom trips in my life, and I'm proud of it. I've done it, but I've overdone it. Like you need to be at like 1.5 grams. Like 1.5 grams is good, but like if you get 3 or 4 grams, you're a heroic dose. Allegedly, who cares for me? But I'll tell you right now, if you do like SSRIs, let's say you're on brain, allegedly on Zoloft or any kind of antidepressants, it's dangerous because if you drink alcohol, it mixes with like very negative fumes.
Yeah. And here's my thing about it. Like I will literally be in pain. Like I was prescribed certain pain meds for my back.
Probably Vicodin.
It wasn't Vicodin. They gave me one Vicodin once because but luckily I had a doctor who I was like, don't give me major shit. Like I will deal with pain before I take that medicine. And so they gave me some like simple muscle relax. I think Flexeril. I've had a thing of Flexeril. I think it's already expired because I only take it when I absolutely, like if I have a flare up in my back, which isn't often, like to the point where like I might have did something, I like bent over wrong. I might have did something at the gym.
Big.
And
Like,
I'm
not
big.
height-wise,
No. I'm a
can you imagine your spine versus my spine?
Oh yeah. But the thing is like I could have done something the day before and I just wake up and what happens is that the disc and the nerves, they're just inflamed to the point I can't stand up. Right. That's when I will take one. And that rarely happens. I've had to become very conscious of like how I do things, how I sit, how I bend down, how I work out. And so my thing's expired, but like I've had that one thing that they're still good. They expired is nonsense. But and if that happens, I'll take one. It makes the pain go away. It doesn't make me feel loopy, high, none of that. It just decreases that pain to a very tolerable level. And I do that, like I said, very rarely. I've had one prescription of it that's lasted me years, and so I'm not for that. I think a lot of the antidepressants and stuff is bullshit. Like in the sense of, I don't think everyone needs it. I think people need a reality check a lot of the times. There's some people who are depressed. I've been depressed. When my back went out on me, I hit a depressive state of like, what am I going to do with my life? Because everyone knows, like, I was a big dude. I lost 100+ pounds. My life was about fitness, working out 5 hours a day, going for 5-mile runs, doing weights, doing jujitsu, Muay Thai and MMA and all that stuff, to the point where like, I can't do any of that anymore. And so I had a very depressive state on that. And, this is one of the things I was like, I didn't want to become dependent on any kind of medication. So it's like, how can I do this other than that? And that's where I'm like, I think a lot of that medicine is nonsense for most people. I think a lot of people need to just take reality, accept what happened.
So let me go into so I have cerebral palsy. I'm a Shriner's kid. I have I can't feel. I have 20% of my right foot, so it's kind of like a peg
What's up,
leg.
Mark Adams?
Huh?
What's up, Mark Adams is in the chat.
What's up?
What's up, brother?
But no, I have 20% in my right foot.
Yeah,
and I have a lot of back spasms. I have a lot of pain where, I've been paralyzed probably 3 times through my nerves.
Damn.
Like just like Ryan Bowden one time had to grab me because I couldn't even move my arms. But it's part of life having, cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
But they put me on Lortabs like four Lortabs a day. And I was like, I got off. I was like, screw this shit. And then I found marijuana.
Yeah.
And this is way before it's even medical. And
I am very pro. Let me just say this. I am very pro medical marijuana.
I mean, I have my own. It's called Carter's Champions Fuck Cancer.
Yeah.
Work with Kind Life to Pascagoula. They have their own grow, and they're in 150 dispensaries. They are family owned, one of the best out there. But I didn't even like smoking, but I had to figure out like what sativa was, what indica was.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't take any more Lortabs, man. Like Lortabs made me feel good, but like I just knew it was it went from like the first time I did a description was like 1 Lortab, then 2 months later was 2 Lortabs a day, then 4 months later was 3 Lortabs.
Yeah.
And I became a fucking Lortab addict, and then I was like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I went through withdrawals for about 2 months, and then I was like, I gotta find something for pain, so I do ibuprofen.
Mm-hmm.
And I smoke pot.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, but like, it's just literally like look at this foot. This is, I can't do my foot. I can't move my actual foot.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is the most I can move this foot. Like, this is it. That's all I got. I can do a little of this.
Yeah.
But I can do this foot, whatever I want.
Right.
It's just fully function. It's a different thing. If you know what it feels like to be like, I was a kid in braces when I was a kid, but
yeah.
But the drugs like Lortabs are great, but marijuana has always helped me.
I'm all for any kind of pain meds, antidepressants for a short term. And that's what I think a lot of people don't like to do is a lot of people don't like to work on how to operate without that. So doctors just give you, like you said, start off with 1, then it was 2, then it was 3, right? So then you become dependent on it, right? And you don't know how to function without it. Where I never was like that. I didn't want to be like that. So it's like, give me that 1 prescription. I'll make it last as long as possible. And I'll take it only when I'm like, literally, I cannot stand up. Then I'll take it. Until then, it's like, what can I do to try to alleviate the pain? What can I do to do that? A lot with like depression. Yeah. If you need antidepressants for a little bit, cool. But are we teaching people how to deal with depression? What's causing the depression? How can we fix that so that you don't have to stay on that, and that's what I did. It was, I'm depressed and I had to literally sit there. And I remember me and my aunt got into it, and she was a nurse, and she was like, dudes like you shouldn't be depressed. And I'm like, you don't understand. I was a athlete. My whole, like all my hobbies was working out, doing physical activities, and I can't do that anymore. What am I going to do? I'm not into anything anymore. And that's what got me into video games. Because I was in a relationship. She didn't give two shits about what I was going through when I tried to talk to her about it. She didn't care. Right? I started playing video games and watching Twitch. And I started watching people on Twitch. So I started playing video games. Hell yeah, Taylor. He's kicking ass.
He's a big
love it.
He's a big supporter of the show. He's
Hell
one of
yeah.
the reasons the show's around.
Hell yeah, man. Shout out to Taylor. And as a matter of fact, shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
Y'all are amazing.
There's fucking real people.
Oh yeah, that's the homies. Love it. And then you got Princess over there.
Who's Princess?
Who's Princess? We're trying to figure out who Princess is. Anyway, so yeah, I got into playing. That's when I got back into playing video games, and that's what a lot of people are like. How are you your age and you still play video games? And nobody wants to hear that. I got into video games because the video game community, playing with strangers online, who was like, bro, you can talk. You're going through some stuff, and like we're playing video games, and I'm able to like let my say stuff on top of my friends who like Devin and Dave and Mike, who were like, man, you can talk whenever,
but
man.
it's past our state.
But they were so far away,
Yeah.
and we're in different states. I was up in Maryland, you know what I mean? So that's what got me back into video games, and that community was there to like, man, like just stay positive, like it's going to be all right, man. What are you doing? And then I had that, which gave me that a little bit of confidence and being able to express. And that's, I think, a major thing is why I love having my friends. Shout out to my boys. I don't need to know. All right, Princess. And so getting to do that, I was like, all right, well, what else can I do? Like, all right, I got to start doing other things and looking at it being more positive. And I took it because like, I don't want to be on medication. My relationship ended. So I went through my back going out on me, and then my relationship. And like, while my back's going out on me, I'm watching my relationship just go to shit. Like it's just fucking going. I'm sitting there.
I'm not trying to laugh. I'm just saying it's
no, I laugh about it because it's like, it's one of those things where you're just like, it's one thing when you sit out there and you're going like, why the fuck is my relationship just going down the shitter, man? So like all this stuff hitting me at once, I'm no longer able to do. And when my back went out of me, like I was training at this MMA gym, I was training to like start fighting, and next thing you know, my back goes out on me. I'm like, fuck, like everything I love to do, I can't not do. When I was lost a lot of weight, people used to see me, man. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going for a run. I just need to clear my head. I'm going through some stuff. I just want to clear my head. A good run, make everything go away. Like, good. I feel bad about this. Like I had a shit day, man, going a 5 mile run across the Ocean Springs Bridge and down Ocean Springs Front Beach.
I did it today. I did Rufus's Soul, Inner Bloom, and I played Odessa, and I walked from my house. I walked, I'm not gonna tell you where I fucking live, but I walked I did 58 minutes, and just to like clear my mind, because like I think some of the best ideas I've ever come up with, and I like coming up with ideas and creating them. But this is the first time I've done it in fucking 9 months.
Okay.
And I kept walking, and sweating, and
you got in that rhythm, didn't you? You kind of got that like high.
I always had it, but I just lose it at times.
Yeah.
I never met a perfect person.
No one's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And
but but there's something about that cardio high.
Yeah.
Where you're just
dude, you're releasing endorphins and shit, man. It's a great thing, right? So then you start doing that, and then you start going, all right, things aren't bad. And then I took it as like, bro, I'm living. I'm alive. I don't get a reset. You know what I mean? Like we don't get to like pause the game, reset it, start over. So it's like, all right, what can I do? And then I gained a lot of weight back. I got back up to 300 plus pounds, and now I'm back down like in the 270s right now. So I'm trying to get back to like the 255 area where I was when.
Dude, you look great. Are you really pushing that at your height?
Yeah, I'm about 275 right now.
But what do you want to go? What do you want to?
I want to get back when I lost a lot of weight and everyone was like, dude, like, holy shit. I was about 255. I would go between 250 and 260. Like if I went out for the weekend, had some pizzas and some burgers and drank some beer,
But you're fucking tall.
But I am 6'4". Like being
Guys,
6'4",
if you
you
don't
kind of
understand like how like I'm close, like I'm 5'11" and a half. I'm closer to 6 foot, but Leo is way fucking bigger than me. He can fucking literally slap me and drag me around. He's that big of a person. It's not like a little person here.
Yeah. So like the last like 20 pounds that I need to lose is like, it's all right here.
Okay.
So like my face is started shrinking in, and like everywhere else it's thinning out. And it's just those last 20 pounds to get back to where I was 10 years ago when everyone was like, I'd show up and people were like, Jesus Christ, like who?
But you're so
Dude.
big though, as a person,
Yeah.
like you fucking own it. It's your like you own it.
Yeah, dude. That's the other part of like that whole. It's part of being confident, and then it's the other part of, like you said, just owning it, to where you're just like, I'm a big dude right now. Like I'm a big dude. Like own it. I'm working on being better, but you know what I'm saying. But then doing that, like all of that, like affects, like we talk about the mental health, and like all that affects people. And that's why I try to say, like, what are other things you can do to help better your mental health? Start doing some hobbies, getting good friends around you, getting rid of the toxic friends around you, getting
Number
rid of
one.
Yeah. Oh, number one, all the haters, man, fuck your haters.
I'm just like, don't have friends that, I mean, you have friends that tell you, hey, call you out and say, hey, you were wrong. Don't have friends that said you should do this, or you should, this will get you, my biggest thing that pisses me off the most is, how do you monetize? I hate that word. It's like, how do you monetize? I'm like, I guess because I have sponsors or true to podcasting. I love this shit. Like my dad, like I'm telling you, I didn't even know this much. Talking about which he's listening right now, and he took care of the funerals. Big Tommy. Big Tommy is not my real uncle. Big Tommy owns Image Striping, and he is my dad's best friend for 47 years.
Nice.
And he rolled my dad forever. He took care of all the funeral at Bradford Keith. He took care of everything because my dad, in the last few months, we talk about his death. We'd talk about these things, and he's like, it's always Tommy. Yeah. I was like, all right, well, yeah, it wasn't his. He's my uncle. He's my dad. He's my dad's best friend. So he raised me with my dad, and we pulled off one of the most amazing funerals for my father. But it's like being real.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is, what do you feel about, real quick, what do you feel about when people tell you when they have the plan of life? Like, what do you feel when somebody tells you, Leo, you're doing this wrong, or their input's this? What do you feel about that?
I mean, it depends on what it's about.
Social media is what we're going on right now.
Social media. All right. So when people are like, man, you're going about social media. So here's the thing, right? So my mom and then sister-in-law, one day we were at dinner, and they were like, I can't believe you do the things that you do on social media. And I slid them and I said, well, here's how much I made this past month. And they're like, are you fucking serious? And I said, yeah, that's how much I made by making just some little videos in my car, whatever, talking the way I do. Right. And they were like, and then they made a comment. They were like, you just put women down all the time. And I'm like, tell me what I said to put women down. Right. Because I'll talk about men, women, I'll talk about all kinds of things. I said, but the only thing that sticks out to you is the fact that y'all think I'm putting women down. I said, what do you put women down? They're like, well, you don't put them down. You don't ever say anything like bad about women. They're like, maybe it's just your tone and it's you cussing. And I said, okay. And they were like, well, maybe you should cuss less. I said, you know what? I'll take that in consideration. And so I did. Like, I started to be like, you know what? You're right. I used to pride myself in not cussing every other word. And then I was like, all right, let me stop cussing. Now, don't get me wrong. My favorite word is fuck. I think fuck is an amazing word. And I like saying fuck. But I understand. If I want to reach a bigger audience, I'm going to have to cut back on the word fuck. Because people listen when you say fuck. whether good or bad.
So is it fudge? What should do word?
I just don't use it. I just try to say, just try to use my, I guess, my brain and my education to like,
the little one.
yeah. I don't know.
Cause I fucking hit it in water. Apologize.
Cigar break, guys. Hold on.
We're good.
Ooh, shit, I got my eyes.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah. Let's go. Little snippy snip.
There we go.
Brother.
Thank you, bud.
You up? Not a problem. So I just use this. I just try to use this, my language, that English language, to get a message across without using the F-bomb. And I do my best at it, even though I love it. And, you know, it works. It works. You know, people like it better when you're not cursing so much. And so I'm like, all right. So I took that in a thing. And you can see in my videos recently, now there might be one or two here where maybe I go like on a little rant and I like to use it. But overall, I'm like, I try not to use it. So I take that into consideration. But people that are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're on social media. And I'm like, it's another stream of income for me to do something that I ultimately get.
But you don't
joy out
need
of.
the income.
I don't.
Yeah, just be honest. Like, you don't fucking need it. Like, you
I-
serve their country.
Yeah.
You fucking don't. Like, it's just your
Yeah.
opinions that you want to share. Now we have an open source platform.
So here's the other part about it, right? So I, due to the Navy, I have a problem sleeping. And so the thing is I can't sleep unless I am mentally drained. So me doing TikToks helps my mental stimulation. Because if I can't have full on like great conversations like what we're having right now, if I can't have that every day for hours, when I go to lay down at night, I can't sleep. My brain just, so that's what I do. That's why I'm always listening to music. I'm always trying to learn something. I'm always talking. So that way, when I go to lay down at night, I go to sleep. And a lot of people don't know that. Like, I do it. I mostly do it for the mental stimulation and the entertainment aspect of it. I just found out and figured a way to make money off of it at the same time.
So what do you listen to when you lay down?
Sometimes I lay down, and so most of the time when I lay down, I'll put on a show. I shouldn't do it. I should take the TV out of my bedroom because that works great. And then the doctor's like, you have to, when you get in bed should be for sleep and sex only. And so I did that for a while. It works. And I have red lights in my room. The red light lights it up enough so that like you can see things.
What the fuck is a red light?
Like, just get you a light bulb and it just be a red light.
Yeah, but what does that do to you? Like,
bro, it's like it lights up the room enough for you to like see things, and then you're not in complete darkness, but it's low enough. The red light is low enough that it doesn't keep you up. At least for me. I can't say that it'll work for everybody.
I'll try it. I don't fucking know.
But it works for me. And so I did that. And then I took the TV out of my room in my previous house. I took the TV out of my room. So like the only time I was in my bed was to go to sleep or have sex. And so that way, because what you're doing is you're training your body that once you hit that mattress, one of two things is happening. And so either you're having sex, and if you're not having sex, you just go to sleep. So now, like if I'm dating someone and they come over and we, and like I say, we don't have sex, which is rare, but if we don't, like for example, we went out, we got shit faced or whatever. As soon as I hit the mattress or we went out, we were just up late. Maybe not, I'm not gonna say we got shit faced, but like we just went out, had a couple drinks, had dinner or whatever, and we just stayed out too late. I'll like come home, like I'll lay in bed and I'm out. Touche. So these are things like when people go, man, I have a problem sleeping. I'm like, try these. These things work for me. I'm not gonna say it works for you, but like these things work for me. Now I have a TV back in my room, and what I'll do is I will put on a TV show that is very mellow, very calm, and that I've seen already. So I'm not paying attention to it, and then I'll just fall asleep to that. Kind of like white noise. Some people fall asleep with like a fan on. Some people fall asleep to like certain types of music. That's what I do.
Same.
Yeah.
We're similar on that.
Yeah. I think maybe age, man, age and experience. You try things out, you see what works. But like I do like all those things. And so that's kind of what I
My
do with
big thing is food though. It's like Bon Appetit is one of my favorite fucking YouTube channels. It's like it's all about food. I've even thought about making pasta lately because I've been diving in for the last since Pop's passed. I've been diving into like how to make your own noodles. Like I've been like all into making my own noodles.
Okay.
That's
Hell yeah.
That's like I've been watching
That's
shows like
cool.
well, there's an art form to making noodles.
Okay. I've heard that. I've heard there is an art form to it, and people get like real particular about it.
Yeah, well,
Like anything, right? Like, how dare you drink your whiskey that way? Like, fuck you. But it's like, how dare you make your noodles that way? I'm like,
I like a good solid whiskey, and I'll have a couple neats, but I do like my whiskey with a splash of water. You go fuck off if you don't like me.
hell yeah.
It's not, but it's my whiskey. I bought Sinatra Select for $180
Yeah.
for Brendan Brosh. That shout out to Charisma and the Golden Hours that sells craft beer hats. But this her mom has a liquor store. I think the Liquor House on Washington, right by Taco Sobrero.
Mhm.
So she had one in Gaucher, and I bought for Sinatra Select for $180.
Okay.
And I didn't really like it. So guess what I did? I just drank it with Coke.
Yeah.
It's what I just didn't like it.
But GGG's, are you talking about me needing a podcast? Because
you are the guy. You're the host.
I do just release a first episode of a podcast that I do with Devin Velasquez up there in the comment section.
Devin, drop the link to the podcast.
He is Divvy Up. We have a podcast called Coyotes R Us. Divvy, drop all the information there for GG. Yeah, with that being said, also, it's really funny about that, right? Because me being a big dude, right, in high school, right, I was a huge dude. And so we had house parties and we drink. Man, I used to catch so much shit because the only thing I would drink was malt liquors. Was it malt liquors? Like the Smirnoff ices and stuff.
Oh, dude, I used to Jolly Rancher that shit.
Look. People literally was like, "You're so big, you don't drink beer." I'm like, beer is fucking disgusting. And they were like, "You need to drink whiskey. You're a fucking dude." And I was like, whiskey tastes like ass. I don't know what ass tastes like, but I can think.
I do.
I mean, I know now, but I didn't know then. Okay. Look, we're gonna go off of so many things. But anyway, I used to drink that. And so which will bring back to what you said earlier, but we got called on because we were talking about how when you started drinking whiskey. I started drinking whiskey because I was whiskey only house here. Good job, princess. Such a good girl. I like it. Anyway, so I was in Sevilla, Spain, visiting my family. So my grandmother is from Spain. And so all her family was there. So one of the greatest things that I ever got to do was while I was in Italy, my cousin Paco found my dad on Facebook and was like, "Hey, are you so-and-so, the son of so-and-so?" Yeah. So we started connecting with our Spanish family. And so while I was over there, I was like, I got to go meet them. So any time off I got, I got to go meet my Spanish family. And it was such an honor. They are fucking amazing. They treated me so great. Anytime, I always brought friends with me to go with me. And they typically were Spanish speaking friends as well. Shout out to Soto, who was like another brother of mine. He was like one of my best friends from the Navy, and he fell in love with it. He actually married a civilian woman. He's still over in Spain right now. And we was at La Feria. So in April, kind of like we have Mardi Gras, they have La Feria, which is their fair, right? It's a big ordeal in Sevilla. It's all over Spain, but in Sevilla, it's only for Sevillans. Like you can go to the fairgrounds, but unless you know people there that are inside the tents, which they call them the casetas, you can't get in because they have like a list. Like they got security guards at the front. I got it. Oh, thank you.
What's your lighter?
Thank you, sir. So they have, I know you do. Like I said, just keep being a good girl. Anyway, So we have so I went there and I was with my friend, my cousin Paco and his family, Nana and Carla and Gonzalo. And we go to La Feria. My first time going to La Feria, I'm like, Sam, you got to come. You got to come to La Feria with me. He's like, what's La Feria? He's Dominican. Well, he looks it up. He's like, bro, I got to go with you. I'm like, yeah, you're coming with me. So we go to La Feria. And then we're hanging out with my cousin Paco's best friend, Pepe. And Pepe is like the Spanish Johnny Bravo. All right. He got the
It's
hair.
kind of like the Mexican restaurant in Diablo.
Brother, he's got the hair and he's like, come on, buddy. We're going. And he's like, what are you drinking? I was like, look, I'm already drunk because La Feria, you're doing nothing but drinking and eating all day. And dancing and live music. The flamenco, I got a tattoo on my leg. Flamenco dress. You seen like the girls with the flowy dress? It does a certain way. They put the bows. It's called a flamenco dress. That's for La Feria. So all the women are dressed like that. Dudes are all in like suits and stuff, even though it's fucking 100 degrees outside. Everybody's sweating, but no one cares. If Paco was like, what are you drinking? I said, I'm drinking whatever you're drinking. He's like, all right, whiskey cola. So all of a sudden, drink whiskey cola. That is when I started drinking.
My favorite kicks. Yeah.
That is when I started drinking whiskey. I didn't drink whiskey until then. And ever since then, I've been drinking whiskey. So that's my story about how I started drinking whiskey. Was damn Pepe.
So I'll tell you what, guys. You want to know more? Then tune in. This has been a good podcast. I love you guys. Are you on this? Sending it off. They didn't know more, but you got to wait for this one. They got a podcast coming out. Coyotes RS. I love you guys. Hell of a show. And we're going to hang out after the show, but
yes,
that's for us. Love y'all. Y'all been amazing.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have been amazing.
But you got to see an influencer and how he built his life and how he thinks about things. Love y'all. And love you. Love you. Just say love you, motherfuckers.
Love you, motherfuckers. Salute and have a good